What's up?
Hello?
You guys are gonna have to bear with me. I haven't done a stream in a hot minute and had to run controls and all that. So
Yeah, and I'm okay not having any control of any buttons.
yeah. Oh, I forgot that I had controls on Baker's stream and I got in there. I'm
I
like, oh, I can do stuff. And I thought I was gonna be able to send David out of the stream, but he was pretty good. But I was able to send expert out of the stream for a minute. So I enjoyed that.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. Oh,
Hi, Jen.
hello.
What's up,
Hi.
everybody? And C is here. I feel like I haven't seen you in forever.
I know. It's so weird. We call kind of gone on our different things and
Yeah,
we still kind of hang out, but now it's like, what do you mean things happened when I was gone?
right. I know Jody came back and she's like, "Oh my goodness, what's going on?" I haven't seen
Who
anybody
are
for
all
so
these?
long. Oh yeah. Plus
Yes.
when she was here, yeah, we there's so many new people. Eris is here. Hi, Eris. And Vicky. There's all kinds of humans here. Um, Hi, Wendy. Wendy, you did so good
Hello.
last night. That was a heck of a Lego stream. So
I miss all the fun stuff. I need to figure out how to run on less sleep. If anyone can
I
figure
I think that was my favorite Lego stream actually. Joe's is right up there. Like they may be tied for my favorite Lego streams, but
I'll definitely have to watch because
yeah,
I
like
love Legos, which I didn't think I would as an adult, but you know,
yeah, I think a lot of people are finding a new love for Legos because of it actually. David should get a sponsorship.
yes.
Like
And
because
they sh
they hadn't met her, I think made it really good. It was more of an interview that, like they still did the Lego thing, but so it was pretty cool because they hadn't met Brandy yet. So
and I've heard of her. I've not watched it before I started making videos. I did not adequately understand the amount of time that when goes into a prep for videos and stuff. So, I have all these great ideas like I need to catch up on so and so stream and this person's stream and this person's stream.
right.
But then when you're also doing this daily, it's kind of like the last thing I want to see is another
Right.
court stream or anything else. Especially the
Yeah.
same like stream or the same trial that you were just watching because you're like,
Yeah.
oh my god.
I haven't even I'm not really up on any of the trials anymore. I just with going back to work at night, it's hard to get into a trial because
Yeah.
they're all streamed during the daytime and nobody streams when I'm off because I'm off Sundays and Monday nights. So and nobody really streams on Sunday a lot. So
Yeah, and that's kind of where I was like, there are some trials that I can rewatch, like the Groves trial. I'll probably try to do that one afternoon this week, and then I do need to do that wig stream. But
oh yeah.
it's like it's when you're a parent or like a mom parent, and I am taking nothing away from dads here because single dads, I'm sure, do the mom role too, but
Right.
it is, you're in charge of the dental appointments and the making sure everyone has the dinners and the laundry and the everything else.
Yes.
And
All the things.
yeah, and by the time you're mentally on your own stuff, you're like, wait, what was I supposed to do? Oh, we got margarine. No, wait, no, that's not it.
When I oh, did we do that when I cashiered, that was my favorite thing to ask people was, did you find everything all right? Yes. Did you get what you came here for? Because I'm horrible about going to the store and
Oh,
I need toilet paper and I come home $200 less with no toilet paper.
I I do not allow myself in Target. I'm glad my town is too hill chuck for a Target. Now it would be the Aldi for me. See, I said it right, Baker, just for your birthday, just for today. And I still put a "the" in front of it.
Right?
But
The
yeah, it's that
Walmarts.
the Walmarts, the Aldis, the Krogers. Funnily, just the Meyer. Well, no, there's the Myers. Never mind.
That's awesome, Young. Literally, I went and took a kid to work this morning after I got home from work and went to the gym and had to go do some shopping. And then I came home and turned on Baker and then also turned on a YouTube stream to reteach myself my pattern that I'm using because I haven't crocheted in so dang long.
Yeah, what I like about at least the cross stitch is that I could sit and when I was just listening to trials, I could sit and get stuff done.
Mhm.
And when you're having a bad like pain day or something like that, I could look at myself and say, "Okay, I accomplished something today."
Yeah, that's it.
Wh-
uh, It's a lot when
So,
you're trying to stream and be a human too.
so what pattern are you doing?
I am doing a corner to corner. I'm doing a minion headband actually. I
Oh,
I love the corner to corner crochet pattern. It works up so easy and it has a I don't know if you can even see it. It has a neat
oh yeah.
pattern to it when you do it. So
Oh, I like. Yeah, and it's got that ripple in it too.
right.
Mo- Oh, thank you, Baker
So
Ray.
hi Baker people. Hi Brandon. We're just hanging out and talking and doing
Chit
some yarn
chatting.
work and yeah. Mo and I have a few things in common.
We
Like
do.
a house full of humans and
Yeah. We're
and we like
look, I'm
crafty things.
yeah. We're both trying to just unleash the least amount of feralness out there that we can
Hey now,
possibly do. Well, I
right?
mean, look.
The feral children. Everybody's all about the feral children. Listen,
Listen, I just don't want to be called in for hostage negotiations until
right?
at least next year. That's all it is. It's,
Until next year.
look, I've had about all I can with 2024 already, shenanigans
Oh,
wise.
I'm trying to. It's hard to read chat. Did you add the stream to the national website Oh, I didn't know that was a thing, Young.
I I think someone had said that, and it might have been Young a while back when I was thinking about doing a floss and goss stream. It's very possible. Allegedly, I do follow through on some of the squirrels I have.
I am making a minion headband. Let me pull up my Facebook real quick, and I think I have a picture I can show. I used to make many, many, many of them and sell them. Uh, I forgot how to type Facebook apparently. Let's see.
I would think my autocorrect would know me enough to know I never expected to say ducking, but
Right?
I mean, they talk about artificial intelligence taking over, but you'd think that'd be an easy fix.
There we go. Gosh, I haven't been on here in forever. Well, maybe I don't have it. Maybe it's just not loading them.
The stitch, greedy bloke. The stitch and bit bitch meet at the same pub at the same time as the folk club I go to. They're mortal enemies.
Nice. I like that. Well, I have I wonder if I have it on my regular Facebook page. I know I have pictures of them.
Vicky T, I am just jealous that you got, well, look, I tried to make a coat and well, it did resemble, it did have sleeves. Anything else that resembled a coat was by accident and didn't fit correctly.
Well, apparently I can't find a picture of one right now. I will just have to take a picture of this one when it's done and show you, I guess. This pattern works really, really well for headband stuff, so that's why I started using it.
Because it's got the stretch kind of in it.
Yeah, it has that stretch, so it fits easy and it can fit more sizes than just if you just do a straight across. Like they don't have a lot of give to them when you do a headband or whatever with them. So,
And if you give birth to big-headed children.
hi TF. Some of mine do, I guess. Others are not so much.
Eh. It's something I'm gonna lie to my daughter-in-laws about and be like, "Do big heads run in your family?" And be like, "I've never heard any tale about anything. Just give me some grandchildren."
Right? It
Except
won't
when
hurt.
youngest, most feral's wife comes to ask me about grandchildren, I'm just gonna give her a jug that I marked holy water and a cross.
Oh, the the coat you were talking about, Eris? Is that what you're talking about? Are you asking? You can ask Mo advice on that.
Mo,
Young
advice on
Mo,
being a
how to
good
be a good
wife?
wife. Yeah,
When I find out, I'll let y'all
I
know.
know. That's I don't know how to do
Um,
that.
uh, der. So I will say,
See,
as much as I read the Smixy books, they're written by women who are writing men that we fall in love with, and those are not real men. So
exactly.
expectations, but also being being honest with what you want and having a lot more it it's about communication. Now, do oh, I can cook, but I need to learn to cook more things.
What, oh, for doing more than one? Is that what you're talking about, B?
Oh, yeah.
I just did more than one. I
My
don't know. I don't know
my
what happened to you
bank
and David.
so I will say that my bank did ask me to do a code because they didn't quite trust the website.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, but I do USAA and we have our stuff pretty low locked. So if it's
Oh,
not like
okay.
or high security,
Yeah.
so like because someone went to Dolce and Gabbana on our salary once with our credit, and my husband's like, "Did you go to these places?" I was like, "No, no, that's a craft
Oh,
site."
it is, Eris. Thank you. Me. I knew I had a picture of it somewhere. Let's see. I don't know how to cancel. I don't want to open. I'm gonna have to save it and let's see. I definitely don't want to open my Discord on this thing.
No, probably not.
Let's see. I can open it up on this.
I guess my only advice would be, okay, from what I have found through two different husbands, is that subtle is not something that men are really good at, but also women don't pick up on things that are important to men all the time either. So they can be just as subtle. But basically, don't assume that your partner knows what the heck is going on. I mean, if you're struggling with something or if you're pissed off at something, now I know it's fun to say nothing and watch the wheels go on in their head when they're trying to figure out what it is that they've done wrong. But sometimes it's just easier a long way around to say, hey, you know, it really pisses me off when you do X, Y, and Z.
All right. I think I can open it like this without being too.
Oh,
Hold on.
Jung, uh, look, my house, look, just start watching Hoarders. You're gonna feel much better about your house regardless of how good or bad you are about cleaning. That's my advice.
Well, then it doesn't. Oh, I have to open it in a different one. Screen sharing was canceled.
Oh, I was about to say I was not touching anybody. Poor Nick, he made me a something on his one, and if I'm not making sure my cursor's directly on chat, my birthday's in July.
Let's
Right
see.
before the McDonald, or no, yeah, just before the McDonald's massacre, which my mom always likes to tell me about. I'm like, Mom, thanks.
How nice of her.
I'm like, okay. Also, is that clip in my baby book? Because that would be a really interesting thing for a stream. She was not as impressed with that.
All right. Now I think I can share it. I couldn't open it on a different present. Screen share. There we go. Share.
Try. None of this is food. I know this makes you sad, but none of it
There.
is food.
That's what I'm making. Complete with googly eyes.
It is the cute. Look, if I would wear it.
I sold a lot of them to adults actually when I was
Oh,
doing
did
this all the time.
did you used to do like craft fairs or
Yes.
the?
Yeah, I did a lot
Oh,
of craft
cool.
shows. So,
Now that people have, oh gosh, are they called circuits or crickets?
cricket. That's what I call it, a
Oh,
cricket anyway.
okay. Because now that people have those, I cannot have one of those because I would be making too many stupid and offensive t-shirts.
I have a silhouette, which is basically the same thing, just different brand and different software, things like that. And I haven't used that in forever.
Yeah, but you make those cool board things.
Yes, I use my laser now and do that's I love that thing. I need to
Oh,
finish Clumsy's here. Arf arf. I need to finish her shadow box that I'm making. I am making her a zodiac or astrology wheel light box
ooh.
thing. And I have the mirror completed for it. I started making it and then I did a thing and it ruined a bunch of wood and I
You,
not not right now, pampered princess. I have a Facebook page, but it's also connected to my real me, so I need to do something different. So my non-feral me.
I thought your name was Feral.
It
Feral
is,
and
but
then Miss and then Littles. Or as we're also known, so and so's mom.
yeah, so and so's mom. I get that. Yep, a lot. Nope, nope. I called her father. My sister, when her youngest was starting school, she tried to take her phone number out of the school's thing so they could just call the father.
I'd still end up getting a call because he'd be like, "I don't. When were they born? Where
Right?
was I?"
Well, I know you were telling me the other day that you drove to school and then found out once you got there, there was no, or it was delayed or whatever. No phone
Yeah.
call, no nothing.
Yes.
I cannot get, my kids have gone back to school. I homeschool mine and I can't get them to leave me alone. I still get every dang email that that school sends out.
Uh, Like you owe them money. I'm like, look, I would rather not. There was one school, I don't, maybe it was an urban legend, but I heard tale of it on Facebook where they basically said, if you give us $100, we'll take you off the mailing list and pretend we never
Mm,
met you.
yes, no, I heard about it's for the fundraisers.
Yes,
All
please
of the
God, take me off.
fundraisers.
And
I would rather, oh, I hated them. That's one of the best perks for homeschool is no fundraisers.
I'd still have fundraisers like mom needs a new wig. Come on now. Yeah,
Well,
but I don't think we're
the trick
sanctioned to sell
is
sneakers out. Tell them you're a 31C and we're a religion and not to ask you questions.
oh, I know. I can't stand fundraisers. Like I would rather just here you go. I don't nope,
Well,
I don't want your crappy thing that you're gonna give me in exchange for this donation. Like you
well,
just here,
and I
there's
don't
20
want you to
bucks.
tell the kids they're going to get this piece of crappy thing if they sell 5 of these crappy things to people. I don't want to, having a hostage negotiation so my child can get this crappy thing.
Right. It's yeah. I hate them with a passion. That's why I didn't care for when my boys did Cub Scouts. It seemed like every time I turned around, I was like, popcorn, okay, that's a Cub Scout thing, right? Yeah, which would have been fine. But then there's like 500 other things that they want you to fundraise for on top of it.
Yeah, or the school trips that are like to Guam or somewhere. I'm like, we
Mhm.
went to Washington and we all had to sell magazines door to door like we were in Office Space.
Yeah, I had one that was supposed to go, and then, but of course that was in 2020, so
Yeah.
they never did. They were going to try and make it up in the spring and like asked us, do you want to wait? So most of us, I think, said, yeah, hold on to the money we've already put into it. And then they weren't going to do it then either. So that was kind of a nice little refund check to get. I mean, it was my money originally anyway, but at least it came back to me.
Yeah. It's nice when you remember, like, oh,
I do, those are kind of fun, young. The like card or coupon book or whatever for $5 off of the car wash or whatever.
yeah, those are fine. I just, look, I mean, again, once a year and one sport. And you see,
Right.
I have 6 children, so you got one shot from this family.
Right. That yeah, that's one of that's like everybody oh, yes, it's expensive to have more than one kid, obviously, but it's the things like that that make things expensive. It's not even like yes, groceries it costs more. Da, da, da. Everybody costs a little bit more, but when you have something like that and you're like, "Oh, well, now I got to multiply this by 6, by 7." Like, thanks.
Well, yeah, that's why, other kids, their families might go out to eat more. And I'm like, well, yes, guys, that's why we don't typically go out to eat as much
Right.
because, it's more expensive.
Crime size, it's a corner to corner is what I'm doing. I'm making a headband with it. I've made baby blankets with it. I made my sister a baby blanket for at least one of her children, maybe two of them. I don't really I like little projects like headbands and hats. I'm not a big fan of Afghans and I will never do one for money. That's a labor of love and if I love you, I might make you one and gift it to you, but I can't do it takes all the fun out of it for me and they take so long and
I did a couple of those like memory t-shirt quilts, and I
Mhm.
finally had to tell someone. I was like, "Look, there's a company that'll do it for you, and they're going to be a lot cheaper than what I can do
Right.
because, just pricing wise with materials." And I said, and I would make sure to send pictures of everything I was cutting out because these were of people that passed on. And I was like, look, I'm not cutting
Okay.
things until you okay it. And it's so much stress because, it, I mean, these are people's memories and you don't want to screw it up.
Right. Oh, they were, Eris. The mermaid tails were I would no, not me. Not my mother could do like clothes and things like that. And of course she had a lot of kids too. And she made most of my older siblings clothing, like sewing it or crocheting or knitting, things like that. Like not
Well,
me.
that is such a talent.
Yes.
I bought two of Gertie something or other's pattern books
Oh yeah.
right before I got hurt. And there's a lot of patterns that I want to try out, but there's just
Yeah.
s- so possibly the only person outside of an Amish community that has a treadle sewing machine. Look, I'm not saying that I may have gone down a few rabbit holes of homesteading and home preppery during the coof, but I may have a treadle sewing machine.
Nice. I have a sewing machine. I don't like my mom even made her wedding dress and all the bridesmaid
Oh,
dresses and
wow.
hi diva.
Hello.
Sorry, I have to
That
concentrate and count when I
oh,
turns.
no, you're fine. I loved the old vintage sewing machine tables, and I was able to find a couple of them since my
Yeah, I
husband is
see them
supposed to
in the
be
thrift stores a lot.
helping me restore that. That's in our project pile of like when things stop breaking. Fry,
Right?
fry.
I have a dream
No,
pile.
I always say I'm very positive about my ability to get stuff done. My list of crafts to do is an optimist. My grasp of time as a concept,
Yep.
not as realistic.
That is pretty cool. Hi, Mel. Mel is awake. I thought this would be in the middle of the night for her, but turns out it's like 6 o'clock there, I think. She said this
Oh,
morning when I talked to her. Well, her yesterday or this morning.
I know I finally have gotten sort of used to figuring out, okay, if it's morning here, it's evening in Nick and Baker land. And then
Right.
it's completely opposite time in Australia land. And that's about
Yeah.
how
Yeah, that's it's hard to we just kind of expect everybody else to switch to Eastern time, it seems like. That's our
I know I feel bad. I am definitely wanting to expand my evening streaming a bit. Fry, fry. No.
well, you should have got up with me, Mel. I did get up and well, I didn't get up. I I went there after work, but usually I go now. It works best for me to go into the gym at 7 and then go to work at 10. But on Sundays, my besties can go with me. So I come pick up the boy that's got to go to work, take him to work, and then the or the three of us go to the gym. And then sometimes we'll go out and we like going to Bob Evans because they have food there that
Ooh.
I can eat. So a lot of the other places
Yeah, that
don't really have much. So
yeah, it's uh, I'm not trying to make a huge deal about the way I'm eating, but it is hard when you're the only one kind of changing how they're eating in the
right.
family. So if I could make the numbers work, I'd just get on Factor myself.
Oh, well, it's I don't hear great things about their stuff
Oh,
as far as that goes, but I don't yeah, so I've looked at it too. It's pretty spendy though. And I haven't heard
yeah.
great comments about it.
Oh, well, I was just thinking just for one person
Right.
that's actually eating, but it, it's easy enough to make a meat and then a side dish that everyone else, a bunch of side dishes. We're from
Right.
meat and potato land, so it's usually
I
a
know.
potato.
That's it. I do really well if I just eat the same things all the time. So I just kind of do that. Like
I was about to
it gets
say, I am a bit of a 4-year-old.
yeah, I am
Just
going to try. I bought and I haven't made it yet, but I bought that Hearts of Palm pasta and
so
I'm
I'm really
gonna
weird
try it.
about smells and texture, but
Uh-oh.
I've heard really good things about it.
That's what I've
I'm
heard
like I
horrible
said,
things about some of the other, but I haven't.
like
So I bought it. I'm gonna try it.
I tried, but I think I just went full um Sheldon mind. Like I can smell the not noodle
Okay.
in it and talk myself. Well, I don't know. Probably not. I just if I could get away with just eating bacon, I'd be okay.
I know. There's a lot of bacon that happens in this house. I have a hard time finding an uncured one though. I have to go to Aldi for it,
I
and I don't
I
like Aldi.
I love their middle aisle, but you could lure me into any place if you said candle sale. So I'm like $4 candles. Okay, well, I mean, this looks a little haunted, but $4 candles.
Do you guys have Gabe's there?
No.
I went to Gabe's for the first time today. I'd never been in there. I
Hmm.
didn't realize it was like a thrifty store. Like, I don't know. I was impressed. I've never been in there before, and because if I don't go there, then I won't spend money there. Am I gonna have a birthday stream on the 28th? I don't know. Maybe. I'll have to see what is happening next weekend. I
So
don't plan things.
have you guys warmed up at all? I hope everyone in chat is staying warm and safe and cozy.
I think it must be a little bit. It was 17 degrees when I was on lunch at 2 o'clock in the morning. That was
Oh,
cold.
wow.
We haven't been horrible, horrible.
No, it feels like we're finally getting winter now, but it's really strange because you haven't had it so long that you're kind of like, uh, no, this we canceled that this year.
That's
I
what
was
I'm
told we're
and
not having a winter.
um I'm so oh actually, hold on, that can't be right. Is it really only 16 degrees?
I was about to
Oh no,
say, I
20,
think
it's
it's
28 now. It's 28. That must have been had updated from last night or something.
I'm trying
I'm
to
so weather wimpy now that I'm down here. Like I go back home. I went back home in September for a relative's wedding, like a couple of years ago. We'd only been down here for a little while, and I'm like, oh, it's so cold. It's crazy how quickly you acclimate to where you live
Oh,
at.
yeah. Do
No,
homes Yeah.
they don't. They get no days off. You don't even get sick days.
I I will say you have all of my
Hi, greedy.
admiration because I don't know that I could do homeschooling.
See,
I
I
would
don't know
be
how I ever did school. Like, it's no, so much having to make people get up at a certain time. And so I
Mm.
like this way better. People can sleep in if they want. They're not as grouchy because they had to, and they had 57 million hours of homework anyway. So,
Yeah, that is the one part I don't get about athletics in high school is my one daughter that does athletics. I don't know how she gets I mean, she's doing great, and I try to offer help when I can. She's doing smarter
right.
stuff that I know. So I'm like, well, I mean, we can watch the Breaking Bad. I can figure out chemistrology. Let's go.
Trying to,
Yes, you're very important and I love you too, not the face. You are such a
open.
butt.
Here we go. Eris, I
Vibrato. Stop.
57 meal hours. I'm confused. What are you talking about, Baker? I found that, well, I pulled up that picture of that coat that Eris was talking about. There we go. Share. Ugh, I hate how it closes. There it is.
Oh, that's so cute.
Yes, that
Oh,
is.
I'd wear the
I
heck
said I
out of
found
that.
I finally remembered that you dinged me.
I know, I can't figure out what to say, like the twixt or the twattered or who the heck knows. Because it sounds weird if you say you ex someone. I'm like, I wasn't even dating them.
um, because mine are not a-holes, young, like MG's. And might have made appearances on streams before. I think I had one on Wiz the other day.
Well, and as you know, my feral can't ever stay off the camera. Although now I will have to be the first to tell him this because I just looked. Well, I guess I'll be the first to tell you all this. I owe him a cake because he was under the false impression that you get a button at 1,000 and he thought I was
Oh,
closer to 10,000 and I was like,
right.
"No, sweetie, I'm really close to 1,000." And he's like, "That is nowhere near Mr. Beast numbers." And I was like, "Well, thanks. I was feeling good about myself. Thanks for
It's
bringing me
nowhere,
back down."
nowhere near Mr. Beast.
I was like, "Well, not a a well, a dill hole that whistles, but what can I say? I try my best, thank you." But he was like, "Okay, so if you don't get a button and I don't get a corgi, then what can I get when you get to 1,000?" I said, "I'll bake you a cake, okay?" I was like,
Oh,
so now he is going to be very excited that
right.
I can bake him a cake. I still haven't told Mr. Mo that at 5,000 we're getting a corgi, but that'll be one of those communication things we'll do later.
So what's the age gap between your oldest and your youngest?
My oldest will be 17 this year, and my youngest is 8.
Okay.
So And what
Right.
is your age gap?
Almost 19 and almost 4. So
Okay. We needed new hobbies. My problem was that
right.
I would get back in shape after the last one and then things would happen. It's like God punishing good behavior.
Right. Oh, those jeans
Or
are fitting
Griffin
pretty nice.
Griffin will be 8 this year. I have to look,
Right.
middle son decided everyone was on an even year, every 2-year thing. Middle son had to screw that all up and come on, an off year. So I have to be constantly confused now.
So do you have a birthday season or are you spread out?
No, but oddly enough, they're pretty much all in. The weird thing I have about mine is I've got 3 with 21st
Oh, wow.
as their birth date.
Yep.
So I'm just going to get a tattoo right here for when I
Right.
go to the pharmacist. Cause
Oh,
I'm like,
amen.
I got a 70-20 chance that we're going to get this. How
If
about
I
you
go
give
in
me a little
order,
help?
if I go in order, I can usually get them. Like, okay, well, this one's birthday is this. Oh, and like, I went to the doctor with the youngest boy one time, and they asked me what his birth date was. Could not remember it for anything. Literally had to call my sister who was sitting out in the vehicle with one of the older kids or with the other kids sitting out in the car. I think it was at the emergency room or something. And I'm like, "What is his birthday?" And she's like, "You're his mother." And the oldest boy was like, "Duh," and like rattled it off. But I'm like, am I completely just gone from my brain?
You know, it well, because we are the social secretaries of the house. We remember everyone's birthday, everyone's mom's birthday. We get the cards out. We remind the husband person that, there's a Christmas every year, there's a Valentine's every year.
And they're
Your
on the
mom has a
same
birthday
day.
every year, you know. And your dental appointment is here, and this means that our, you know, taking people to other place stuff is going to have to
Right.
change. So, and that we're out of milk. So,
I I have one that's the 23rd, one that's the 25th, and one that's the 29th. So I can usually remember them, but I'll get confused on which one has which one of those 20th dates. Like, ugh.
yeah, and mine goes 06 for years wise, 08, 10, 12, then 15, then 16. Cuz yeah, we
Rude.
found out about Griffin 8 months after
Ooh.
middle boy. Hey, to be fair, my OB said he was going to see me back in 6 months, and I was like, "You son of a bitch! I saw you in 8."
Mine,
I was like,
I went in and got permanent stuff done and he's like, "Are you sure you don't want?" I'm like, "Listen, you." I'm sure. He's like, because I don't have complications. So he's
"Yeah."
like, "We make a good team." I'm like, "Oh, shut up." I said, "Are you gonna
I'm like,
pay for them?" Like,
look, I was like, "Look, I'd just like to come to the hospital once and not be in stirrups is all, just
right?
for a change."
Ugh. I'm not even looking at chat. Sorry, guys.
Oh,
It's hard. It's hard to talk and
I know we need
sit and read.
our
We
a
need an
Wendy for
MC.
like,
We do.
yes.
We need a Wendy or a Jamie, but Jamie won't take the controls, so
I guess
which
Sal's
is
gonna have to wear a wig again.
listen, we don't need somebody ending the stream on us.
I can do that on my own for
Right?
Nicholas's channel.
I
Allegedly,
literally, when I
that's
left Baker's, I literally double checked because I'm like, oh wait.
I well, when I was just saying bye to Nicholas, I was like, bye, guys. And I was like, wait, no, I mean just you, but not like you as in just you bad. I meant, no, I
Right?
just meant, um,
Not the entire
I do
stream.
have a, yes, I do have a very smallish pic, but let me see if I can get it to focus in, which it hasn't done. It's very, so it's, I can
Oh, it's
show what
very
I've done so
small.
far. Yeah, I
Very,
can
very
show kind
small.
of what I've done so far. So it'll be all of the characters. It's Sailor Moon because is there any other? Well, I've got Lord of the Rings now too, but is there any other cross stitch that I do? So it'll be all of their different colors and then all of
There. Baker has a link if he wants to join.
Friberto, you do not need to go out.
I don't. What is Sailor Moon?
It's an anime. So the basic story, along with some creepy, weird, like mom and dads and weirdly inappropriate aged people liking each other that I didn't pick up on until I was older. But it's about this spazzy middle school girl that loves, well, noodles. And of all the, spazzy people that probably shouldn't have been given superpowers, she's a superhero. So she likes to eat stuff. She's terrible at math. Friberto, if you eat this string again, I will be very mad at you. Between him
He
and the
just
cat.
wants to make you a knot.
Yeah, so I mean, she's basically just this, normal middle school girl that, finds out she's a superhero, but she's basically a giant spaz. And hence the reason I love, and she just wants to eat noodles. Right, you are
Hmm.
fine. I know. You do not need all that attention. And she's a crybaby. I know. She's just the most normal. Well, I mean,
What's a what? Is that like hand egg baker? Yes, that is true, Baker. You are Jamie's sidekick.
Friberto, do you want a
Jamie
treat or
had
are
to
you
go
just
off
being
camera
cute?
today, and I haven't seen her like have to do that in a long time, actually. She's getting way better about just staying on and letting people enjoy her laugh.
Yes. 1 second. Let me get him a treat.
Okay.
Friberto. Most people understand the word treat, but not know. Stop.
I mean, that's what they do. It's kind of like children.
I have been kind. Oh, now you do the sit? Oh, sir.
I've never heard of handball. Baker, you're gonna have to show me next stream. I'm actually able to watch. I spend more time with Shizzy now than anybody because his new show fits my schedule so well. Did you, Eris? I'm sorry I missed it. I was out cold. If you people would all just start being up all night, that would be great.
Uh, I'm actually, this is not going to be as exotic as it sounds, but I am setting up this table to be my from bed broadcasting setup.
Oh
So
boy.
when I know, not that kind, I wish. Everyone
Join Mo on
wishes.
OnlyFans.
So I can do that on bad days and just have my heating pad there and just have all of my stuff. Because have you seen those things for laptops where you can pull it out and it's got like extra screens on the side?
No?
It's like a doohickey. I don't know. Anyway, we bought one for
Is like the
Christmas
name
and
of
I'm
it?
supposed to be
The doohickey thingamajig? whatchamacallit.
Yes.
I've never seen that before. That's cool.
Fry, no, there is no food here. You are
Do you
okay.
like having 6'5" muscular men doing sports in shorts? Well, depends on the shorts.
Yeah, are we talking like Bud's training circa 1970? Because I still am scarred from my dad's photo book of that. But if we're talking like, reasonable Magnum PI level shorts, maybe. Are we talking MacGruber shorts or MacGyver shorts? Because I feel like,
We're picky over here, all right?
yeah,
Some shorts just show things you don't really want to see.
yeah. I don't, in the
Not in a public
70s,
setting
where,
anyway.
yeah, I don't know how much shorter those shorts could have been in the 70s, but y'all were testing the limits.
Consider it a ladies' version of football. And the girls play handball and the boys play football. Some played both. Like they were batting for both teams.
Is that like kickball instead of handball? I don't look, if it was a sporty thing, I probably did not do it.
Right?
My mother had one sporty child and it wasn't me. I'm glad she finally got her though, because,
How many
I don't think,
how many siblings did you have?
let's
Or
see,
do you have, I
for,
mean?
for a long time it was just me and my brother. So we call ourselves the beta kids because we were the beta testing kids. And then my mom got
Mm-hmm.
remarried and I got a really cool stepbrother. And then she decided that she wanted to, retry Alpha 2, you know, after
Right.
you got to crack a few omelets. And we were the omelets. So then she had my little brother and sister. I was the only high school senior who wasn't pregnant, but my mother was.
That's my mom had two, we had like two kind of separate batches. I didn't live with some of mine because they were already I mean, my I have a niece that's older than I am by 4 years and one that's 6 months younger. So my sister was already married. My oldest sister was already married and having a family before I came along. But
Yeah,
so
that's
there's
kind of,
those older 4 and then me and my little sister and
but it's also been really cool though to see them become adults because I will say that I finally was able to have like an adult conversation with my little brother and thank him for something he did when he was 8, but I didn't think he'd
oh
figure the
yeah.
gravity of.
Yeah, I remember I heard you tell that story one day on your stream. That is awesome.
So it's nice to see them grow up, but it definitely is weird. They're kind of like, yeah, but she's not like my sister, you know? I was,
You're probably more like an aunt.
yeah,
That's
to be
how
fair.
like
Yeah.
literally I grew up with my nieces and nephews and so my sister and I was always with them. So my sister always just kind of felt more like a second mom or an aunt to me.
Yeah.
Like,
And it is nice to have, sometimes when I maybe can't talk to my teen girls in the
mhm,
language that they need to hear, it is nice to be able to bounce them things off my sister. And then next time, she talks to them, she can just, give me a little, not spy but just like, hey, is
a
everything
heads
going
up.
okay? Yeah, they're doing fine.
Yeah.
Because,
Yeah.
that's the weird thing about teens is you don't know how. I don't want to be a helicopter parent, but I also don't
Right.
want to like let them. And
Right.
then when you try to talk to them, it's like, and I'm like, yes, thank you. I wanted. I'm trying to be emotionally available for you, you little kitten.
Right.
Like, what do
Now crime spies. I thought we told you that that's not actually moonshine. That's a mixed drink. Remember? There was a little bit of a debate there during I think it was during the caucus thing that Shizzy streamed.
Oh,
I think it was that stream anyway. One of Shizzy's streams. I've been on an
and
awful lot of them lately, so
what were we debating exactly?
what makes moonshine moonshine?
Um, I don't know. I guess generally just being in a ball jar.
Well, we decided that if you are, well, I don't know that we decided, but it was said that if you were just putting cinnamon and things into an alcohol
Hmm,
like Everclear or something, then you're just making a mixed drink.
true. But if you're boiling apples and like doing ginger bags and all that other stuff, then you're making moonshine. I mean, it's still ever clear, but you're put more effort into it.
I don't son of a gun. I keep forgetting to do. Oh, I did do the thing that I thought I forgot to do. Never mind. I ripped that out for nothing. I my this blanket that I made for my niece, I was like halfway through and noticed that I missed one stitch on like on one of the squares and I'm like, nope,
Oh no.
not gonna rip it out, not gonna rip it. I'm really bad about that. That's like when I write
I
letters or anything, like I will tear out the whole page and start over because I did something dumb. Like,
eh, I yes, I have learned to let go of the small things, but I'll go back and I'll save yarn or not yarn, but thread and try to just approximate which color because I always check before you rinse off the dye with warm and soapy water
mhm.
b- and you end up noticing you missed a stitch somewhere and it's just like this is going to annoy me for the rest of my life.
Oh, I
What
know.
color
Like
was this?
literally her blanket still annoys me because I know it's there.
Look, I may never learn how to knit, but there is a knitting pattern of a blanket full of cursing words. And
Cool.
if I could switch it, but it has like tea waffle and the C word and all sorts of
Ooh,
just, and like I have it somewhere on, I need to figure out how Twitter works. I need to figure out how a lot of
mhm.
things work.
Me
But
too. Listen, I think there's some above 35-year-olds that I met that don't have that yet. Great success. Your brain isn't fully developed until you're 35.
we have a lot of kidults.
Yes.
The
And they
problem
lots
was
of
is
them are on YouTube.
the thing was we as kidults knew we were kind of dumb and living off of ramen noodles with milk carts or milk crates, but I guess had we had access to making our own dumb videos at the time, would we not
Oh,
say anything as moronic as any of these kids are? Like, y'all don't understand how hard it is to work 8 hours a day and then you have no time for fun. You just don't understand. Have you worked retail during Black Friday?
yes, I have. I actually
Yes, I
love
worked.
actually love it. I don't like shopping it, but I love working it. I like
The
crazy.
sales haven't been super
No.
great that I've even wanted to get out here
No.
of
Oh,
late.
please let me get in a fist fight over some crappy $2 towel that should be 50 cents.
Please let me. This Stanley Cup thing, I don't get it. Do you have a Stanley Cup? Am I supposed to be issued a Stanley Cup? Like, what
I
is it
almost
that
there
I?
was when I was at Gabe's today, there was some like imposter ones, and I almost got one just cause, but I didn't. I did send Jamie a picture of this ginormous. I have to find it. Oh, I know where it's at. Uh, I'll pull it up here. I have to save it. I don't want that on there. Oh, open image in new tab. There we go. Yeah, yeah. Mel just bought one. Tisk tisk.
Hey, if you like them, you like them. I just don't understand why you would buy something with no cuss words or funny saying on them. It just doesn't make sense to me. They're all plain and naked.
I saw this
And you're
today
spending 60
and had to
bucks.
send a picture to Jamie. It was gigantic.
That just doesn't look. I mean,
Huge.
to a less dirty mind, I'm sure it looks like a chess piece, but to a more ridiculous and depraved person, that looks like a fire hydrant.
I might have to go back and buy it and send it to Jamie. She said, I need one. I didn't even look and see what the fake Stanley ones were only like $17, I think.
Yeah, if it doesn't have a funny saying on it, I mean, look, I'm not gonna
I'm
tell y'all how much I've spent on tumblers with dumb sayings on them, but just
well,
put a
I need
curse word or two, and
to get
I'm
I have a cup rotator and I can laser engrave whatever I want on cups. Right?
I have
I need
so
to
many
go
things that I need to say in cup form and laser
right?
form.
I need to do it. I'm waiting on Shizzy. Shizzy cut me some legs, Yamaha, for my machine so that I can raise it up higher
Oh,
so I
cool.
can put I have the turner. I just haven't hooked it up because I don't have the legs for it yet. Shizzy printed me some, so but he's a little preoccupied with his water situation in his basement, so he hasn't been to the post office yet, I don't think.
Yes, I need to. That
And then
reminds
I
me,
need
that's
to
on my list
practice
of
on
things.
some cups.
Oh, all right. I'll be right back. It's a fry potty break. Apparently, we are dying to death. Okay, down. Yes, I realize. Two.
I know, Eris. Heaven forbid I say something about facials. I'll never buy a Stanley cup. I am not paying that much money for a cup ever. I don't care what's on it. I'm actually getting somewhere on this. Nell, your stream is tomorrow, right? I saw somebody comment on that. Did everybody see that thing about the lady complaining because her daughter wanted a Stanley because I guess she was getting bullied at school? So naturally she bought her one. But somebody commented that she should just go steal her the real Stanley cup and send her to school with that.
From that's hockey, right?
I don't know. I maybe ask the boys in chat. I don't I think so.
I know
That
there's
sounds right.
look, there's a I know all the Cars wars or the Cars movie awards.
I
Yeah, at least one good thing about maybe being in a big family is you learn that name brands aren't that important
true.
because unless your family is very deeply in debt up to their eyeballs or you know, really good at finding bargain bin, designer stuff. My kids don't really worry about that stuff. I mean, when they have their own money, do they buy what they want? But when
Mm-hmm.
they know it's our stuff, or they're just as happy to go to Goodwill. So,
Right.
and
That
say, like, I can get more at Goodwill if we go to the rich people Goodwill.
That's what my oldest was so offended when I told him one day, if you were gonna, I will buy food for the house, and I'm not gonna tell you that you can't eat it. You have a job. If you want snacks and all that other crap just for you, like you're gonna be paying for it. You make as much money as I do. Like, why, I'm not buying you.
Yeah.
Well, I don't buy that garbage for everybody else in the house, so why would I buy it for you?
Well, yeah. It is nice that I think that when you have a bigger family, those kids kind of, and even a smaller family could do this, but kids kind of understand a little bit more reality because I think you have to be a little bit more frank with kids like, hey, this is a budget. This is how much money we have, you know. So this time we can't get, it's not your day or it's not your week to pick something special at the
Right.
store.
The 3-year-old is starting to learn that. I stopped at the thrift store. She's starting to anyway. We're working on it, but stopped at the thrift
It,
store and she said, "I want to come in. I won't ask for nothing." And immediately upon entering, "I really want a new toy." I'm like, "Listen, I thought you
well, that
promised you wouldn't ask for nothing."
but that was car her, and car her
Yes.
did not consult within the store her that saw the
Yep.
toys. Mom, car her was very aware of her willpower. In there,
They
her is
know,
like,
like, my favorite line in the store is, "I'm not your father." 'Cause he's a sucker, and I am not. So,
well, that's like I got really since middle son's birthday is right after Christmas, and this
uh,
year he wasn't really giving us any ideas. So it's like, okay, well, we kind of have Christmas down. What would you like for your birthday? And he went out with Mr. Mo, and they
mhm.
brought home a hoverboard contraption-y thingy.
Nice.
Now you can sit on it. And I said,
Well, why would you do that?
I was like, ages. I was like, he is going to get run over by one of the drunkards in this neighborhood. And he's like, they're just going to use it in the backyard. I was like, have these children ever listened to any stipulations we put on anything? So
Right.
we we decided that that will actually, and it's one of these practical things. So we talked to my oldest son will turn 12 this year. So he's decided that he is okay with that being his, gift. And the middle one got a Nintendo Switch.
Nice. Rabbit? Yeah, Jamie, get on here, run the chat. She won't do it for you, she's not gonna do it for me, Baker.
I was about to say, Jamie's allowed to have 1 minute off stream for someone. I mean, just one. I don't
Yeah,
know how
she was
she's.
on for a long time. She was on with Shizzy before she went on with Baker, so
Yeah, I
I'm loving.
was.
Oh, Baker, you need to come on more often on that morning show. He said he'll start sending you an invite if you could pop on for a couple of minutes if you want to, and
Yeah, no, that should be fine. It's now that we're back to normal morning
right.
routines, I should have some idea what's going on
Right.
in
Yeah, that's what we were
theory.
talking about it yesterday, the day before, whenever we were last together. And um because that it was so fun when you hopped on the other day. And
Well, and
you
it's nice to
know
be on his stream because he talks a little bit more well, he talks all the
yes.
more
Well,
politics than I do
yeah.
on mine. And it's nice to talk because I am such a nerd for
Yeah,
that.
well that's it. I don't like literally the only thing I know is what I've learned being on his show with him in the morning. Like I don't follow it a whole lot. So
It's just I'm a weirdo. Like a lot of people didn't like the sequel trilogies or the sequel trilogy in Star Wars because it was too much, about politics. And I was like, I wish they had more Senate scenes. This was great. It's
I've
just as evil
never
as our
seen
real
any of
Senate.
them. Never seen a
Yeah,
single Star Wars. And
I
I'm
have never
perfectly
seen
content that way.
a single Dragon Ball Z, so I think it'll be okay.
Neither. David tried to trick me into watching it. There's this thing that he wants that I could probably make with my laser. And he was like, and I'm like, I was trying to Google this map thing. And he's like, oh, you can't really like just like I wouldn't be able to just get a file for it. I'd have to make it myself. And he's like,
Hmm.
and I'm like, well, wait. He's like, well, you really have to watch the movies I'm like, listen, love you, not gonna watch Star Wars for you.
Look, am I married to you and or claiming you as a dependent on my taxes? Then no. Okay. Thank you.
If you could show me heck, make it yourself and I can do it. Like, if you draw me the picture, Baker could probably draw the picture. Hi, Harry. What's up? I like your other name better, Harry. Faster to go to Denmark or England or Scotland on a cruise ship. Hmm. I was utterly disgusted at the prices for Baker to fly to the United States.
Ugh.
He can
Can
literally
we
fly round trip cheaper than I can fly back home. Like much cheaper. One way.
y- yeah. Well, and he is flying from Denmark, so maybe he won't get diversity planes or people with special needs that built the planes. Which, look, I am not against hiring, hiring people with different
Right.
abilities, but maybe not on airplanes, y'all. Maybe just not. Like, we'll keep that for TNT and other stuff, Fabergé eggs. Are you kidding me? Uh, the TSA is looking to fill many quotas, and mentally disturbed, developmentally impaired are not disqualifications for possibly working in the TSA or the aviation building, arm of our government.
Sorry. I had to message somebody back.
Oh, no problem. Well,
Uh-oh.
I hope,
I hope your plane stays together, Baker.
Baker, we make everything quality standard America. Uh,
Brought to you by the American public school system.
no child left behind. Dear
Yeah.
God.
Oh, is that still a thing?
I don't know,
Do
but that's
they
always my favorite joke to tell people. I'm like, look, I have graduated before no child left behind, so explain this to me.
dumbest
And they're
thing
like,
ever. Well, not
"Uh,
ever, but up there.
no, yeah, well, I mean, there was a whole lot of special going on in the education system. Like
That's
when
the
they try to do all the different maths and they're forgetting that parents are the ones that have to help with this homework. And then to do it all never have I felt more in touch with a cartoon character than I did from Bob from The Incredibles on Incredibles 2 when he's trying to help that what is this Dexter, little fast kid, and he's like, "That's not how we do math anymore." And he's like, "It's still math the same. Just dude, that's not how we do it. I don't
Right?
I don't know what you're doing here. Just multiply just multiply stuff. I don't know why are you doing 8 groups of 3 plus 3 groups of what is this? If I had to
Yeah,
learn my multiplication tables, you're learning your multiplication tables. That's just how it's going to go, kid.
right. I 2020 taught a lot of kids a lot of new math. That's actually old math, real math.
Yeah. Well, I get where they were going with it because there are people that if it were broken down like that, it could really help them understand math better. But when you give kids that many options, it becomes
Right.
very confusing to them.
Right.
And so they're not targeting the kids that would learn better with that. If they made an entire class, if they did a test where they kind of identified, okay, this kid's going to learn best with this sort of math this way,
Right.
then that would make sense. But to teach, a child who can understand the multiplications, and it just, it, Mr. Mo has never seen me or he's never been more terrified of me than when we had e-learning and I had 3 different kids on different Zoom lines trying to keep the youngest, most feral, not in school, off of everyone's Zoom calls, and the internet went out. And I was like, "No." He's like, "Why? What's the matter with you?" I was like, "Does it look like my soul has been ripped out of my eyeballs?" And he's like, "Yes, I guess I'll be making dinner." I was like, "Yep, you'll be making
That
dinner. I'm going to be drinking this bottle of wine. I hope you fix
digital
the internet
school
because
with I don't know how it was with people that just had a kid or two, but when I had 6 kids in school for that in 2020 and never again. That's why I pulled them in the first place at the for the next fall because I had 6 kids and there was like 47 different classes between them and they all had different like I have these kids that are straight A students. And now all of a sudden I get a thing that oh my kid is failing
yeah,
because they're not doing well because they had for this class oh you had to do this on this website but you had to go do this on this other website and like if I can't understand it how is a third grader supposed to understand it like
it was maddening. And then the different like the I don't know if this happened in your school system, but the middle school wouldn't talk to the elementary school. So when you did finally send them back and someone popped hot next to your kid and you were told, uh, I was told because I got the coof, I think Christmas 2021, and they were like, "Well, are you going to be in direct contact with your children? Because if so, they need to stay home like a full 3
no
weeks." I was like, "No." I told her, I said, "They're just going to weld me in like we're in China. They'll just send
you
me
just
little
you
care
just
packages in the
you
window.
just put them out
When
in the
can I get
yard
my
like Valhalla does with his kids
I was like, "When can I send my children back to school?" And she's like, "Well, here at the elementary school, we do this." But I'm like, and then they had the nerve to get upset with me, like, "Why aren't your children here?" I was told 12 different return by dates. I don't even come at me with that one.
Brandy's chat last night got very concerned because they kept telling Valhalla to bring his kids inside. So somebody finally said, hold on. Brandy said, for my people, he has goats. He doesn't actually have children
Oh.
just outside.
I
He
Yeah,
has
that's
like 9 babies now, I think.
aw. We need baby goat cam all the
And
time.
I know
Just attach a little camera to the, I don't know if you have a goat collar.
a
I'm not quite
GoPro
sure.
on a goat. Oh my, that would be fun.
I know.
Yeah, Valhalla keeps his kids in the barn, where all children should be, really.
You know what? Considering how much Griffin and Fry love when he's in, since the crate I got looks like a corner cabinet, because I wanted it to look a
Oh,
little bit functional just in case,
right.
you know, it ever has to move out to a place where, you know, not that Fry will get into it unless the child is in there. And I'm like, we just did a case about a kid in a box, and you're over here like, I love being in my brother's room. I'm like,
Well, when I
yeah.
I think it was either when I was getting ready, we were getting ready to go up to Montana for my dad's funeral, or when we came back. I had my big suitcase on the um bed, and my second youngest daughter climbed in it, and she's like, "Oh, look what I can do." And I'm like, "No, you need to get out of there right now because we don't put humans in suitcases around here, okay?"
Like, look, this is not Florida, and I can't say the word allegedly enough. Look, Your Honor, she put herself in there.
Exactly. Oh, I wonder, do you think that's ever going to go to trial?
Did I haven't even looked up the new stuff on that. Did she piss off
Sh-
another why am I
No,
asking?
they had a hearing again, and they continued it, I believe, for another, because she has the new lawyer and they
Yeah.
needed time, and the state agreed to it, all that blah blah blah. It was pretty
Well,
nothing burger
well,
hearing.
didn't they finally get someone to semi co-sign on her being a battered spouse? Or
Um,
didn't she finally get an expert or something?
I
Because
have
most
no
experts were
idea.
like, look, I'm not touching this case with a 90-foot pole.
They had a continuance on something. I mean, I don't know if the trial was postponed or if they just had a continuance on a hearing. They've got another one. I can't remember. David or somebody showed it the other day. I watched it, but it's been moved so many flipping times. Who
Yeah,
knows? Like,
I was about to say, I know Peter, the lawyer, Tragos, maybe
hmm
had something about it, but like I said, I never fully realized how much work goes into making streams and good streams and, you know, investing in that. You really do have to just keep up with everyone's streams. You need about 38 hours in a day
right.
and to listen to it nonstop. So,
She got a delay because of her new her new I mean her new lawyer maker.
well,
Yeah, I thought they
I'm just
had, and I think it's in, it's actually supposed to start now when we're all in Dollywood. It's the 11th, I believe, of May or something like that, right? Now I remember.
okay. I mean, we're still putting a lot of faith in a person being able to stand Sarah for that long.
Well, and like, okay, she is crazy and has lost some lawyers due to that. But not all of them were due to that. Some of them were like they had conflicts, so they had to withdraw right away when they got strapped with it. But I mean, May 13th. Okay, that's right. I knew it was right because we're a bunch of these lawyers that were planning on covering it are now going to be in Dollywood during it, right smack in the middle of trial.
Yeah.
Pre-trial conference on the 3rd, a new trial for the 13th.
uh, She should have just gone with a plea deal. I mean, there is
Well, and that's what I'm wondering, if like they don't do an 11th hour plea deal, if the state'll even go with it now. She should have just kept her dang mouth shut and been like, I don't know how he got in that damn suitcase. I
Well,
was
she shouldn't
upstairs
have
passed out
recorded
drunk.
it.
Right,
Al-
right. Like,
Also, you should have said it was a weird sex thing because hide and seek is the dumbest. If you put him
oh,
in there, you know where he's hiding.
I know
Just
that's
say it
I
was a
was at hide and seek, but I don't get it.
s-
But I don't get a
say
lot
it's
of
a
things
weird
Sarah
kink
does.
thing. He likes to be put in small places. No one's gonna question it because no one wants to know that. He's a little guy. He likes to be in little places. It's really a weird smexy thing we do all the time. And I just
Right.
forgot he was having such a good time. No, I didn't record him having a good time. I don't know what you're talking about. And then you don't hand over your lawyer or your phone until you talk to a lawyer and he sees what you have videoed on there and then he says, "Jesus, Mary and Joseph, what the hell is wrong with you? Let me delete this."
That's oh, man. These people. I don't know what it is with putting people in suitcases, but
It seems to be popular.
it does.
I know we need to do a rewatch of the Letitia Stalk trial. I've tried to think about it, but then I remember the phone calls
Right.
and that woman makes you wanna.
Yeah. I don't know if
We
I
need
could
to
do
have,
another kid one. Oh,
yeah.
they're
It's
hard.
it's those are hard. I'm glad that I'm glad that Chad Daybell's coming up and that the Adelson ones are moving forward because look, they are a-holes and you can just go ahead and you
What
know,
are the Adelson ones?
that's the one where the so it's a whole family, Donna Adelson, Charlie Adelson, and Wendy Adelson. Wendy was married to Dan Markel. They were getting a divorce. Wendy wanted to move back with mom and dad in Miami. Dan was a professor at Florida State, so he was not going to be moving from Tallahassee and basically told, Wendy, no, like my kids are not moving to Miami. I'm not. So I think the first lobby was to try to bribe Dan with $1 million to let her move down with mommy and daddy. And when that didn't work, Charlie is convicted of conspiring and
This is the
um,
lady that was trying to
coordinating a
book it,
hit.
right?
Yeah,
Okay. That's like literally the only thing that any that I knew because I saw your Donna your I saw that. Like
it was so funny how she's like, look, he can get her husband, she's like, he can get an Uber home, right? like, like, you're not even going to let him to go to Vietnam? Like, he could get away, ma'am. You're not going to let him go? Now Harvey has to come back.
don't forget Yamaha. I heard he's doing the national anthem or something. Yeah, there's quite a few that are thinking about going anyway. I'm excited. I can't wait for Dollywood. I haven't been on a vacation for that is just a vacation in a long time. Like anymore, it's oh, I have some
It's,
time and some money to do something. I go home, like and see my family, which is great.
yeah,
But and then like even the last place we went at Easter to Florida, but it was for other purposes, and it was literally like I think we we spent more time driving down there than we did there because we went on a mission and did it and came back home.
yeah.
So I did
It's,
get to go to the
I,
beach, which was great, but
I yeah, we were the youngest, most feral was just getting old enough that we felt like we could travel when the
mhm,
coof hit. And then we were looking at starting to travel again. And then I got hurt. But I think the new hope for us to do a family thing is to maybe rent a cabin near a lake, like a
mhm.
Airbnb. That way, the boys and all the ferals can go and do water stuff, and when I've had too much, I can just sit and do my cross stitch and maybe stream, but that way everyone has a
Right.
good, you know, and some of the Airbnbs have like their own paddle boards and things like that, so you don't have to take all that. So that's our new goal if things don't break.
Right. We like I do a lot of camping and stuff with the kids and stuff, and because it's expensive to travel anyway, let alone with a big family, like so. But camping is not horrible, so do a lot of that in the summertime, and we have a bluegrass festival we go to every year, and
I am I am the most introverted soul ever, so my vacation would be like, "Oh, you're gonna give me like a whole weekend to just sit and do my crafting stuff and you're not gonna bother me?" Okay. Like that's a vacation. But when you're a mom, like going to the store by yourself is vacation, at least
yeah,
to me.
it is.
It doesn't.
That's when
So,
people like apologize because they have a full cart or something and they're in
no,
line
I'm
ahead of
like,
you or whatever. No, take your time, please.
yeah, I'm like,
I'm on
"No, I am on the
vacation.
lamb. I'm on the
Yep.
lamb." I'm like, "I'm on
Yep.
probation. Don't tell nobody I'm here." Although, look, and I love them, and I'll probably be one of these old women, but there is nothing that is less helpful than when your kid is maybe having a meltdown moment and this older woman comes up and says, "You're gonna miss this." And I was like, "Could I practice missing it right now?"
Right. I'm not missing it right now, but
I'm like, "I get the wisdom that you're trying to impart. Would you like a grandchild pro
right.
bono?"
Here you miss it. Here you go. Have this one. Ooh, drop my mouse.
I mean, I'm
I
sure
went
I'll be the
them.
one that will go and be like, one day you're gonna miss this. And I'm like, I can I
Right.
practice now? Just to see that the shock doesn't kill me, of course. I mean, for science.
And I'm sure I will, like, I miss the baby stage now that all of them are getting bigger, and I don't miss diapers. I'm glad to be back out of that stage. That's what my sister would uh tell her children, go tell auntie to change. No, I'm done. Well, then I went and had another baby, but nope, I'm not. I didn't make that one. I don't have to change it. Which actually, for the last one, because the next oldest was 8 when she was born, I didn't actually change that many diapers with the last one because all of the girls were all old enough and they all like playing mommy. Like, so I mean, I did change diapers, obviously, but not near as many as I had changed in all the rest. It was
uh,
kind of nice.
I think the girls probably changed a good bit of diapers, but that is the one thing that I do wish that so it's a tangenty thing, but you know how all of our parents have photos of us in like, maybe a pasta strainer and cowboy boots, and they
Yeah.
could get them developed without being put on a watch list.
Right.
And now I'm worried. I've got all these really cute, like tub photos and stuff, but
Hmm.
now I'm like, oh Lord.
Yep.
It's like, look, who hasn't worn a strainer and cowboy boots? It's a look.
Baker, I can't believe how much history you know, Baker.
Baker should have been a history teacher. There you
Yeah,
go.
I heard.
Second career. You can be a history
You
professor.
can just come stay over here and teach history everywhere. I'm always amazed by how much Baker knows about our political system and how much he knows about history of everything, it seems like.
Oh yeah. It's really interesting all the stuff that I've learned about like how their courts work
Hmm.
and some of the ideas that I wish we would bring over here, like the lay jury, I think would be an awesome idea because I
Right.
think you'd have people if you paid well enough and it was for a long enough term and changed out regularly, I think you'd have people that were interested in court cases and willing to, dedicate the time. So it
Right.
wouldn't be uninterested, people that would rather not
Don't know
be
how to get
there.
out of it.
Uh, to be fair, I'm still waiting for my call of dread because I
I
have the whole year
I
to be
had
on call.
here we have if you get jury duty, you're on jury duty for a month. And you call in every so often, every week or whatever, and they tell you if you have to report or not. And I had jury duty this year, like March or May, one of the two. And I didn't even have to go in any of the weeks. I was so sad. I mean, the
Well,
chances of me getting on a jury are probably slim to none because they would take one if they took a look at my social media, they'd be like, no. But
yeah, the amount of times I've said, send them to Snake Island, and if I was a judge, I'd taser them. I mean,
well, see, I think that the defense would be like, yes, we need her, but the prosecution probably not so much.
the state would be like, "Did you ever just say nullify?" I was like, I have never. What, sir, are you talking about? I have never seen Michael Malice before. I don't know what you're talking about.
I did get called in one time back home in Montana. Uh, but and it was so funny because it was just from such a small area that when they were going through like the beginning part of it, they asked if anybody knows any of the attorneys or the judge and almost everybody we had like the courtroom was like totally full with potential jurors and almost every one of us had to raise our hands because we all knew all the attorneys and the judge because all of our children like played ball together or like so it was
Oh,
everybody was
yeah.
can you set that aside then and like pretty much everybody's yeah we I mean you just have to and
Yeah,
I think
it's
that it got a little too real for the defendant once the jury was being seated because they after a couple of questions and stuff they was some whispering and then they sent us all out in the hallway and then we came back in and they had set it reached a settlement or something so
yeah, I don't understand why this guy in Florida did not take a plea deal. Again, I mean,
oh,
look, I get the principle of the thing, but I'm not willing to go to,
the
be best
treehouse
friend.
the treehouse thing.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Well, David was talking, I think maybe somewhere today, I think he was talking about, he said he might go to trial too if he were that guy because the victim swears up and down it wasn't him and she knows him.
Yes, but David's an actual lawyer, so if he went to trial, he would have an actual lawyer
Right. Well, yeah, I
and
think he
not
was dumb to do pro se, but
I mean,
well,
it's a shitty case, but I would not
right.
represent myself.
If I honestly didn't do it, I would have a hard time taking a plea deal for even though I guess maybe I don't know. I really have to think about it with it being time served, but
I'd have to think about it just like with my kids. Like, would you be okay with this? Because, I mean, look, as much as I'm a political nerd and every vote counts and everything, I mean, call me a felon and revoke my right to vote at this point. You refuse to put Bigfoot on the ticket, and I will simply not be, I will not stand for it.
counting and thinking about other things is difficult.
Yeah, that's why
trying to make sure.
you are talented doing that. I just have to follow colors and make sure I put my pointy bit where the colors say.
I know I need to start doing that too. Like I like stabby things.
Yes. It's very therapeutic to stab through things multiple times.
Trying to read the chat. I think Baker and Fed are having a conversation.
Oh, happy 27th birthday again, Baker.
Yes. I can't believe I'm older than him.
Me too.
It's not fair.
Although I sometimes look around and I'm like, I am not mature enough to have nearly three children in high school. Someone
Right?
needs to correct this situation because I just laughed at a fart joke online for about 13 minutes. Hysterically.
Yeah,
Or
I
when I
turn
try to
29 again next Sunday, so
woohoo.
I'm getting
Do you have
really,
any
really good.
special things that you like to do for your birthday or
No, we got a limo last year
ooh.
for my 29th birthday. And it promptly broke down about 5 miles
Oh,
down the road.
oh no.
And the guys got it started again, and then it broke down again. We broke down so many. Finally,
Oh
we
no.
went up to Columbus. We had big plans at Columbus. We did end up going to one place where ladies like to dance, and
Ooh.
and then we broke down again on the way. Well, we are driving down the highway in the pitch black, and all the lights went out, including the headlights.
Oh no.
Like, and it was such a busy road, and it was awful. And so well, there was a bunch of um lights, like ambulance lights and cop lights and stuff up the road
Oh.
a little bit, and we're like, oh, so we pulled into this gas station because we didn't have headlights, and we literally all thought me and my one friend at least thought we were going to die that night. So we ended up calling in-laws. We had to have like 4 different people come pick us all
Oh
up
no.
from this gas station out in the middle of nowhere. And it was a really, really, actually, the one time that it put working on us that we had to stop may have saved our lives for real, because it was a really nasty accident in which people died. That was where all the lights were coming from. And
Oh no.
but that was, I will never forget that birthday, that is for sure. So at least it was memorable, and everybody was safe in our party anyway. And
Yeah, well, maybe maybe just an Uber this year.
and my one of my friends, she had never we went to this club because one of my girlfriends had never been to one before. She hated it, but she did fall in love with one of the girls because the second girl came out and promptly cleaned down the pole with like bleach spray or whatever and like wiped the whole thing down. She's like, yes.
That would probably be my pick of the girl to a deal. But uh, I did wonder that because I figured body glitter is all slickery, and then the next person to have to do the spinning leg kick out, I don't know, triple lutz or whatever you call it. I don't speak Polonese or whatever it is. I'm sure when you have to do your flying scissor kick,
Oh,
you want, grip. And I don't see them chalking up beforehand, so I don't.
but it was, and then we tried to go again. I don't know how it ended up happening. Just went over one night to a friend's house just to have some drinks or something. I don't remember what we were doing, honestly. But somebody said we should try this again, going up and uh going to one of those places. And all of a sudden we were going. Like, I thought we were making future plans, and we were making immediate future plans, apparently. So we went up again, and we decided we had a hard time finding one we could get into first. And then we find one that was fully undressed. We're like, all right,
Ooh.
this will be fun. You can't, in Columbus, you cannot have a fully undressed place and also serve alcohol. So they
So what,
had
you get
where
Fago?
they had like NA beer and stuff like that and pop it, and we're like, no. So we literally were in there for like 5 minutes. We ended up just going to the casino.
Oh, would you like a sarsaparilla with your boobies?
Yeah.
Just had like a Shirley Temple and the lady on the fifth pole. If possible.
That's what I'm like, and it was not great. I'm like, how does my little podunk North Dakota town have better talent than what Columbus, Ohio has? Like, it was ridiculous.
I don't know. I
I used
I
to
have
really
never
enjoy going when I was living back there.
I have never been in one of those clubs, but
Oh,
uh, during my 20s, I was engaged in having all the children. So I'll probably be that mom at the rave. Like, Mom, why are you here? Glow sticks. Be like, Mom, go away. Nope. Met a interesting little fella in the bathroom. I'm gonna eat this brownie now.
I used to go all the time when I was pregnant with my first, actually, because it was the quietest bar in town. So I liked going there just to sit and visit, and he could play pool, and I got to talk to the dancers.
Hey, you know what?
I'm still friends with some of them.
If I could dance, I would totally have been a dancer. But have you seen Welcome to Prison? Or
No,
it's got Will Arnett in it and
I don't even know who that
what's
is,
his
Mom.
face? Kristen Bell's husband, Dex something or other. Anyway, during the day shift of the gentlemen's club, there may or may not have been like strippers and like leg casts and such. That would be my shift.
I actually, the first stop that my oldest son made on his way home from the hospital from being born was at the strip club because I took him to see my dancer friends.
Oh,
It was in the middle of the day, nobody was in there anyway, but except the girls and
they're your friends. Who cares?
right? Well, the reason we went there is because when I was pregnant with him, this one girl that danced there, he would go crazy when we would start talking. Like every time he heard her voice, he would go crazy. So we wanted to see if he would also go crazy, yeah, outside of the womb.
Yeah, that would be so. The first place that youngest, most feral went was Kabuto's. It's a one of those Japanese steakhouses where they cook in
Oh,
front
yeah.
of you. Now, what happened is my husband did not consult with his wife, who had just, pushed a child out 3 days ago, and told
Why
the
would he do
children that,
that?
hey, when we pick up mom from the hospital, we'll go out to eat. And I was like, we're doing what now?
Right?
I was like, you might not want to leave the emergency room. You're going to need some stitches too.
Oh boy, I need to read my chat. How did this? I think I brought the topic up. Oh, yeah, because I was talking about my last
Y-
29th birthday.
yes, I was hoping that this year will be more auspicious.
I don't think that I'm doing anything this year. I don't. Last year was a big one, so we went and did something extra. But I am down for doing that in Tennessee. I like going to them. No,
Mm,
actually, my friend owned it, and I told him jokingly one day while I was like 8 months pregnant that I was going to work for him, and he said, "Okay." When? I'm like, no, I'm kidding. I will not be doing that. He's like, they're into that. I'm like, well, I'm not.
There's people are into a lot of things, and some people like feet, but we don't
Listen,
have feet strip club. Wait a minute, Farrell. I think we've come up with a marketable idea. Feet strip clubs for for interesting people who love foot fetishes.
right?
All the
Forget only
Birkenstocks
feet.
you can handle. We'll have feet in pudding, feet just walking around, oily
No,
feet. I don't know. It'll
we
be a
will
whole
not.
cavalcade. It'll be a cavalcade of weird. I am willing to capitalize on someone else's weirdness monetarily.
Now I gotta remember how to end this. I almost ended up with a scarf, I think. This may end up being a very large headband. Ear warmer headband, whatever.
Or people wear them like all the way over their hair, kind of like a
I think it's
crown
definitely an
almost.
adult one. I have been saying that I am 29 for so many years that I have forgotten how old I was. But don't worry, my children will remind me.
My children, so I was listening to a bunch of 90s music, like Collective Soul and uh, freaking Gin Blossoms and a bunch of stuff. And one of the or Matchbox 20 came on, and one of my kids was like, that was on Barbie. And I was like, it was? So apparently they used a lot of 90s music in Barbie. So a bunch of kids they're like, yeah, this music was good. I was like, yeah, we used to have music. It was great.
I listened to Barbie Girl last night while I was working. It popped up on I don't remember what the song was I plugged in that I wanted to hear, but eventually Barbie Girl came on. And I'm like, oh, this is kind of fun. I'm sure all my coworkers enjoyed my concert last night. Anybody that works near me gets a free concert every night. Um, I have no idea where Don't Ask Women Their Age came from. I don't know if anybody cares how old anybody is, really.
1 second, we got someone who ran into a wall because running inside, like we've not told them a bajillion times.
Right? Pampered Princess, I love them. No, Maddie last night. No, it's tonight. Maddie's on the radio tonight. I don't know. Mel might know. I couldn't. Clumsy asked him last night, but I couldn't see the chat. I was working. So I don't know if he's doing the other show too, or if he just has his show tonight. And then also he's on Wednesday morning, Tuesday night, Wednesday morning, because he's doing that mixtape meltdown. Oh boy. Okay. Is he also Mim, is he also doing the other show? The the Chicken Shack or whatever? I can't remember if it's Chicken Shack or a different one. I love listening to Maddie on the radio. I know. I love it. I need to finish putting together my intro and put that on there. Yeah, I don't know what time the other one is. I love that I get to sit on Tuesday night on my night back from work and listen to them. And I get to chat in the Discord for a little bit because I'm on lunch break and then listen to the last hour. There he is. You guys go to some shady joints. Brandon, you need to come to Dollywood and we need to go to a strip club. Make Kaiser go with us. We'll see. You know, I've been up all night and all day, Eris. You could just come on here and talk. I had to take a child to the emergency room one day because she ran into a door. That was fabulous. You know how, like, if you have to go to the emergency room, they ask you 900 times what happened. I'm like, oh Lord, I
Yeah.
have to explain 900 times that my child literally ran into a door. They're not going to
Uh,
believe me.
well, I mean, it's better than being halfway through giving yourself blue highlights so you have foil in your hair uh, after Thanksgiving, and your youngest, most feral son deciding to stuff himself into a cat tunnel, like one of those collapsible, and then fall down the stairs. So he's already knocked out one tooth. So he now has a split lip. The other tooth is gone. And I look like I have slaughtered Smurfs and melted them on my head. So I take the quickest shower ever. Pretty sure I still had a piece of foil in there. But, you know, I live in Hilljack country, so I'm sure that's not the weirdest thing they've seen in the ER.
Have
But
you had many broken bones with all of yours?
you know what? The youngest, most feral one is the only one to have broken a bone. So we have been pretty lucky with
You
that.
know, that's we have two. I've had two, and they were the same age as each other when they did it. Both of them were one was jumping off a chair, one was jumping off a bed. One broke his elbow, and he ended up having to have surgery
Oh
because it
no.
was well, it was on the growth plate, and it wasn't.
Oh.
It like chipped kind of the tip of the elbow, and they had to go sew the bone to the bone, which I didn't even know you could do, but they did. And then one of the girls broke her arm, the same arm and everything, like, but that's the only two broken bones that we've had with 7 kids in 19 years. So we've
Yeah.
had a lot of head lacks. Honestly, we haven't had to go to the ER for a whole lot in all these years. So
Well, I mean, it depends on, I guess, how you are raised, but with my mom being like a single mom, you know, we didn't go to the doctor unless we were like dying. So
yeah,
I think, and once you have, you know, one kid or maybe even, you know, two, you start to know, okay, this is a doctor thing and this is I, comfort level wise, it's different for everyone. But I think around like one or two or maybe three or four, you're just like, no, you're just
yep,
sick. You have a cold. Can I go to the doctor? No, no, we're not
no,
going to the
no,
doctor
we're
for
not.
him to tell you you have a cold.
Yep. That's the only reason when the oldest one broke his elbow, the only reason I took him to the emergency room right away was because shortly before that I had a online friend actually. We were in like a mommy forum together and her daughter had broken her wrist and she was fine. Didn't really, you know, cried a little bit when she hurt it herself,
Oh,
but
yeah.
then she was fine right away. Same with him when he jumped out, he was fine right away. I thought maybe he hurt his neck actually, by the way, because he like landed with his hands up and landed on his head. So I was
Oh,
more worried about his neck, so she didn't go. Well, like a week later, her daughter was like, "Mommy, my arm still hurts." And so she did take her in and her wrist was broken. And like so I had that in the back of my head after he had done this, and so I did take him in and it was broken. So
that's
I'm
how that, Yeah, because the broken bone were it was the middle son smashed youngest son's hand in the door, and I mean it was swollen, but it was he was moving it
Right.
around because I was like, should I take him to the ER now? And my
Right.
husband, who was a medic in the army, was like, he's moving it, he's fine. And then when it was still swollen, like 2 days later, you're giving it ice and everything else, and he's still generally using it. But
Right.
they're like, no, there's a couple fractures in there. I was like, oh, well, I'm a terrible mom.
Well, they seem fine so quickly after they do these darn things that, like,
Yeah.
do I really waste a trip to town?
Well, that and if, uh, and I don't want my kids to get hurt. Don't take this the wrong way, but if they would learn their lesson about roughhousing on a cement floor in the
Right.
basement by, bumping their head. But no, the same child who bumped his head yesterday and had to get Tylenol and an ice pack is now getting Tylenol and an ice pack. It's just
Yep.
like,
That's the when my oldest two were little, I think that I was either almost done with baking the third one, or he was just freshly born or something. They were real little. And uh the oldest one, no, the first thing that happened was we had a hide a bed, and it was out for some reason. I don't know if had been sleeping on it or what, but instead of putting it away, I was vacuuming the living room, and instead of putting it away like I should have, I just like propped it up on itself. Well, then it fell and it actually hit her head. She was
oh
just
no.
little. She was a year old, maybe two at the time. And so I had to call my father-in-law at the time, and he I guess he was in the grocery store because their dad was at school. He was going to college, and he was at school. I couldn't get a hold of him, so he like dropped his groceries in the aisle of the grocery store and came out and got us and took me to the emergency
Oh.
room with him. And I didn't even flip and do anything. Probably didn't even need to go in there, but they didn't give her scan or nothing. They just keep an eye on her. I'm like, okay, I'll have to show you the pictures of her. I have pictures of her poor little black eye. It was so
Oh.
bad. But so then we went over to their house, the in-laws' place, and we are visiting over there that evening. And he had a brother that was real little. He was like 9 or something like that. And he brought out his bow to show dad that he could pull it back and not
Oh
snap it
dear
closed. Like he could pull it all the way out. So he was doing
God. Oh.
that, and the oldest boy reached his hand up on that reel, and it just wrapped right up in there. I'm like, oh my god, they're gonna take my kids away. They're like, 2 ER visits in one day. Oh,
No. It I call them my cursed panda pants because like when I got these, how they have like the bargain or the bins with all like the pajama pants for $5 on Black Friday. I
mm-hmm.
used to love getting those, and they had a panda and a taco. Now these used to be my favorite comfy pants. They are cursed now because when I we first moved into this house, my middle son wasn't in school yet, but it was the middle of winter and he so wanted to go to school, I guess, that he was standing outside in his pajamas and, someone called the cops on us because, you know, and she came in and I, I am trying to move with a 1 year old, a no, well, he was nearly a 1.5 year old, a 3 year old, a 4 year old, and then, you know, two in middle school
Yeah.
in the middle of winter. And this woman comes in, she's like, I'm just so sorry. I'm going to pray for you. Because I must have looked like, top bun, messy bun, like no makeup on, taco panda pants. And I'm like, fucking, of course. So then the cop comes in, and I was like, look, we just moved in. We had hotel chain locks up high at the other house. My husband hasn't installed them because I gave birth to 8 Houdinis, okay? I know I only have 6 children, but somehow they all get out and they multiply. They're like
Yep.
Bebe's children. Just saying. Also, if we're going to remake or bring anything back, can we bring back Bebe's children? Because I love that movie.
I don't even know what that. You'll listen. Get to know me. You'll find out I don't watch anything. I don't know any of the movies any of you people talk about.
It was kind of a niche cartoon.
I'm kind of like I find something I like and I just watch the heck out of it. Like I've seen
That's kind of
Bones, like the entire series of Bones, like probably 100 or more times. Like
I oh, what is it? I'll watch certain science shows a bunch just because I can focus in on the narration or something like that.
I haven't.
But
I turn it on and go to sleep. I like The Ranch. I've seen that a
oh,
ton of times.
so then the next time I wear these panda taco pants, it is a Friday night. I used to only drink like my drinking, so like a quarter glass of red wine with diet Sprite because I'm classy.
Ooh,
So I just, crack that open, and all of a sudden I get a call from my middle daughter that her friend has tried to climb a pine tree and she thinks that something is broken and can we please come in, and it's right down the street. And I have enough medical training that I did the cursory, like, okay, she seemed like she was in shock. I can't get a hold of the parents, and they're like, just call an ambulance. And I'm like, I'm not calling an effing ambulance and giving them an $800 bill,
right,
when I don't know their insurance. So
right,
we have the big Ford Transit. So, I did the cursory check, make sure that her spine was fine. She didn't have a
right.
concussion. She was in shock, so she was loopy. Picked her up and laid her flat on the Ford Transit, got blankets, and then let her family take the Ford Transit to the ER. And then I burned those pants because I was like,
Right. That's it.
these
You're
are
done.
these are when shenanigans happens. Taco Panda, you are dead to me. It turned out she'd broken her pelvis.
Oh,
Yeah, and I was like, "Why were you guys climbing the pine tree that has no branches?"
well,
I
you
don't,
see.
uh, you know, Mr. Mo asked me the same thing when I decided before I got hurt that with you know, all the political shenanigans coming up, I should start um, you know, I should try out for a roller derby team. Now, 3 a.m. Mo thought it was a smart idea and
Great
bought me some
idea.
glitter, some teal glitter light up roller skates. Now,
Nice.
wide awake Mo realizes that in order to join a roller derby team, I might need to remember how to roller skate. I'm surprised as hell. I would roller skate around the neighborhood. I am surprised as hell it was a deer. That's what really has me salty. Is like I was roller skating, which God never intended a Mo to do,
Mhm.
and and he didn't strike me down then, but he humbled me with a deer. It's like I need this to make sense. I was gonna have my own little ice castles moment. Whatever happened to Robbie Benson? Is he still alive?
I have no idea who you're talking about.
He did the voice for Beauty and the Beast. He was the deep voice. Sabrina the Teenage Witch, he was the dad. Let's see, what else
I
has he played?
remember Sabrina, but I don't remember that much
Ice
about it.
Castles, he was the boyfriend that stayed with the chick after she went blind to still, ice skate.
I have no idea.
And he was
Told you I
totally
don't watch
hot.
anything.
I think he was my first age appropriate, like, teenage crush,
Age
heartthrob
appropriate
guy.
too. Oh, I
Well,
think
my
mine is
first
probably
crush
John
was Alex
Stamos.
Trebek.
Oh,
when I so,
nice.
you know, my mom was,
Classy.
well, he had all the answers, and that
Mm.
mustache, I mean, who wouldn't be turned over by that full mustache? My mom was like, "You like Alex Trebek? Why?" I was like, "He has all the answers, and he's really smart." My mom was like, "I don't
There you go. Still
understand you."
kicking. Harris says he's still kicking. 68.
Oh,
I mean, I like Sam Elliott, and it has a lot to do with the stash, so
I mean, Magnum PI, he wouldn't have been, Magnum if he didn't have that mustache. Have we ever seen Tom Selleck without a mustache? I don't think that's ever
I
happened.
don't think I want to.
No one wants to. I mean,
Mm,
but I'm sure he was born without a mustache, maybe.
I waited my entire life to see my dad without a beard. He had literally never shaved. My mom was quite a bit older than him, so she didn't like it because he has a baby face, and so she didn't like it when he shaved because he looked like her son. And when he had his stroke, they had to shave him, and I'm like, nope,
Oh,
nope, don't want to see that. I'm like, oh, I hated it. I'm like, put that back right now. It looks so weird.
yeah, it is strange when people change what you've known them to have for their entire. It's like, no, no,
Hmm.
sir, we will not be changing this. You stopped the fashion train in 1974, and you will
Yep.
continue to stay there, ma'am, because that's how I remember you. So stop.
Yep. I want to see if this uploaded. I have to show you my intro that I'm working on. It's not quite done yet. I've got to finish it, but here's what I
You
have
are
so
just
far.
so talented in all the things.
I have fun doing them. All right. Here's what I'm working on for my intro.
Farrell's here? Farrell!
Oh, Feral Housewife. How are you?
And hello, Farrell. Farrell's been nice to me lately. And,
She's a little feral. You gotta tame her.
well, she's been nice to me like the last couple of days. And it's a little creepy, I have to say.
Oh, I see. Feral Housewife. Hi.
Speaking of dropping bombs. Good morning, Feral.
Good morning.
How you doing?
Good.
Okay, Feral, let's go to your islands. Your islands, Feral, is here. The beautiful Feral Islands, which are named Faroe Islands. But someone really wants to make fun of my accent. These are Faroes Islands. Happy now, Feral? I didn't used to have so many gray hairs until I met some of them.
Farrell! What's happening?
So that's what I've been working on.
That is awesome. I need to learn all the things. Vale Hammer was asking me something. He's like, "So what do you use for editing?" And I was like, "Oh, I just talk out of my mouth hole and put it on the internet. I don't know. I need
Right?
to work on that." It's like, well, my Mr. Mo, in a show of support and well, just positivity about my ability to learn anything computer, got me Corel Studio something or other, and that is on my computer.
Nice. That's I actually bought the software that I have for I made like a slideshow for dad's funeral and stuff, so I needed something that
Oh,
I could do it, and So I ended up I like that's the one that I know how to use now, so that's what I use, but I like
S-
it.
I, it it seems like once I get the hang of it, I will understand it. But
Right.
it's like when you first, you know, learn to crochet and you're like, the hell do they mean a chain? And how are you supposed to sew all these chains together? What are we doing here?
Right. Yeah, once you get that's one thing I love about this community too is there's always somebody that knows about something and they'll help. Like the one that I made for us, Baker had showed me about how to use the AI thing and so
Oh
I'm like, what
yeah.
am I gonna put for her? And then he sent the first one that's in there, he sent me that one, so I put that in there and then went and played with he's like, watch out. That's all you get done when you learn how to use it. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I
I've
can
got
see
so many
that.
things I actually got because I'm tired of using. Look, I make fun of greenies all the time, but you know, if I can have less paper waste, so I've got a little dry erase notepad, and I've got two of them because I've got show idea notepad, and then did you remember the laundry notepad?
I was surprised at how many there were too, Eris. There's quite a few crafty ladies in our group. Must come
I
with the
know.
trial watching crowd. If we like to craft while we listen to trials.
I know. I look, man, I'm gonna share a little bit of seduction information with you. But if you put on some true crime and the closed caption, we just come out of the woodwork. I mean, have some wine and
Mhm.
maybe some cheese around. I mean, there'd be no end to all the ladies you'd get. Those
Right.
closed captions that really get us.
I always have closed caption on now. I barely watch anything that's not YouTube when I'm awake now, but
Well,
uh
because my husband lives in this fantasy world. He's like, I can't watch any shows around the kids. I'm like, he's like, they won't be quiet. I was like, why do you think we watch with the closed captions on?
exactly. Yes, exactly. Oh, then you can pick up what's happening between when you can hear and not hear and
Yeah, and I mean, to be very honest, you know, half the time he's loud talking too. I love all of my boys, but there is not an inside voice amongst them.
right. That's probably the reason a lot of the reason I watch the same stuff, like, because I don't even have to watch it anymore. I know what the scene looks like. I've seen it 100 times, so I just listen and I pop but, when I do watch TV, it's just to go to bed too.
Yeah, it, if I need to find a good pair of, well, not super expensive noise canceling headphones because the earbuds I can still hear a lot of the noise and shenanigans. And Mr.
Right.
Mo has told me that, you know, the building of my own soundproof was it deprivation tank is going to take a while. So I'm looking for a pair of good headphones that have good sound and are noise canceling, but aren't going to cost me an arm and a leg.
I have found a
Because,
pair that I really want. Also, really don't want to spend that kind of money on headphones, so I don't know. We'll see.
yeah,
Maybe
it,
after Dollywood.
well, that's why um, I have this thing with earbuds that I either lose them or Fry has taken to eating them. So I
Oh,
went on Amazon and when I had a bit of my fun money, I found kind of the cheapest, best rated one and I bought 3 pair.
nice.
You
I
know,
have
bec-
I have found these ones. I can't use them when I stream though because I can't hear very well with them, but they're like they like clip around your ear instead of going in it.
oh
And I
yeah.
like those because I have really small ears. So the ones that like go in your ear, they hurt so bad. So I
I
really
have
like those.
well, and I found a style that finally worked because I have I use I have really small ears too. So
Yep.
when I found the style that worked, I've just gone ahead and got
Yep.
them. But once they were on sale, I was like, look, we're just getting 3 pair of these because I know I'm going to either lose or Fry's going to eat them. So,
Yep.
but for the headset, I'd be willing to invest some money. I don't really want to give Dr. Dre any money. I feel like he doesn't need any. And
I
I also
found
don't
like
really want to
I think
give
they're
Ray
gaming
J any
ones.
money.
They were at Walmart, and I really like them, but I don't like. I have a hard time spending money on myself. So
Yeah. It's well that or if it's something that is, like we had to get I am so spoiled. I got one of those like vacuum mop things refurbished for like $80 and it stopped charging. And I had to explain I told Mr. Mo because he's like our keeper of the budget.
yeah,
And I'm cool with that because he's like, this is what we have for budget. And I said, well, when you're putting together the budget, we need a new one of these because it's harder on me to do the mopping and the sweeping, but this one works. And I found one that's on sale for this, and it's, not cordless. I don't care about that. I just, we have all the children and all the animals, and this floor looks gross.
yeah,
You cannot manual mop to keep up with.
right.
I'd love a Roomba, but I think our cats would just sit on it and wear out the motor.
I actually got I think it's a Shark brand one for free because
Ooh.
well, one of my friends had bought it and it was making a weird squeak sound on her on her. And so she called them and they said, "Okay, we'll send you a new one." And she's like, "What do I send this one?" But they're like, "No, just throw it away." So I took it and I don't remember what had happened, but I took it apart and was cleaning it. Never squeaked at my house, not once. So I don't know if we don't have carpet. We have all wood, and so I don't know if it was the carpet because she actually went through 3 of them before she got one that didn't squeak.
Oh,
So
wow.
so
Or maybe she's just really sensitive to sound. I've noticed
she
that some people are really because there'll be sounds that bother me that other people don't seem to notice, and
right.
I'm just like, okay, well maybe it's just me. And
Well, it did make a sound to her. I heard it. She brought it out but like that definitely wouldn't have bugged me even if it did continue to make that
oh
sound.
no,
So, but
no,
she's very like that.
yeah, and I can understand if you're paying. I mean, because those things used to be
Yeah, they're
like
not cheap.
the
Yeah,
earth,
this has been a
and the
minute.
moon.
Yeah,
So yeah, if I had paid, a car payment for a vacuum and it started squeaking on me, I'd be pissed off
right.
too.
But at least she sold the other ones at a yard sale or something. So,
Oh, cool.
I mean, worked out well. It was nice that they had such good customer service, with the amount of money that you're
I would. I
uh
have found Sharks to be really good. We used to have a Dyson, and I will say, for the amount of look, we're trying to teach all the children to be able to vacuum. Now, the first lesson that all the children seem to learn is that you cannot vacuum up socks. And to take out a sock in a Dyson is a pain in the ass. But a shark is pretty easy. So I was like, we're shark people now.
right. Shizzy. Sounds like his first 3 girlfriends until he found one that didn't squeak. Is that the one you wiped up?
Eh, nothing parties like a rental, Shizzy.
Exactly.
Or as they say in my family, your starter marriage is always where you test things out.
I asked for a vacuum for Christmas one year and I got it. Mine was a Shark one though, the Pro. I love that thing when I had
I
carpet.
I will be so happy when we don't have carpet. Uh,
Yep. I'll never have it again.
Carpet with children or animals is just, you know,
Yep.
the faith of the Westboro Baptist Church is not as strong as the faith of people who put beige carpet in a family home or white carpet. I am like, who in the hell are you? What are. I was like, look, I'd like the shag carpet that's in all the colors that Kool-Aid makes, please. So we just don't have to, because our carpet is, ugh. I'll just be glad when
Right.
it looks like it has full-blown leprosy.
Yeah. Carpet and kids just does not mix. Same. Like I'll never again. I'll I don't mind. I'm not a rug person. My mother was a rug person. We had rugs ever. We had rugs on the carpet for crying out loud. They, I hate them.
They have to be the right texture now. If I was so sad when that aqua rug started making me trip because I like that texture, but you know, one of the kids will take it and it'll be their rug.
Oh, I bet, kind size. Triplets with makeup and woo!
Oh,
I can't. I'm glad that I didn't have any doubles. There was a time in my life that I thought it would be fun.
oh,
I'm glad that
yeah.
didn't happen.
Rhyming names, dress them alike, probably give them into therapy shortly after.
My sister's one last shot for a boy turned into two of them, so
Oh God.
and they were
Double
that poor
griffins.
woman. Oh, yeah, and they were those boy. She pulled one of their arms out of socket one time, trying to go across the street, just because they
Oh,
were little boys and didn't want to just behave and go hold mom's hand and walk across the street, and just yanked his arm right out of socket.
you know, I was a little full of myself. I needed to be humbled when I had my first boy because I thought I got this parenting thing. No
Yep.
worries. And then I was like, what is wrong with honest to God, around my house, 90% of parenting is just saying in my head, what is wrong with you? Just I'm like, so who thought making a sugar butter sandwich was a good idea? Like, oh, we're just gonna eat a bowl of sugar. Oh, good. He's like, I made
Oh,
my breakfast. I was like, a bowl of sugar? What?
well, you
Just
see, Mom.
well, I figured if I'm gonna put it on my frosted flakes, why not just cut out the middleman?
Right.
You didn't get us Lucky Charms, so decided a diabetic coma was the way to go to school. Like,
Christ, my son was an angel. One of the triplets also. Two of them nearly unalived me.
uh,
Oh,
uh,
oh,
I
I want a quiche now. Man, I haven't had a quiche in a very long time.
I
I
don't
could
know
probably
what it
almost make that a keto thing.
yeah, I don't know what it was the last couple days, but I've really wanted and they're not in anywhere low carb, but the Yoplait whip like key lime pie flavor, I just wanted that. And I sent my husband out and I said, Yoplait whip with the purple top because I'm only in the grocery store like 173
Right.
times. And he kept sending me like the Kroger brand. He sent me every brand. I was like,
Except the
and then they
play.
were, and then he said, well, they're out. And I was like,
Mm-hmm.
I hate
Sure.
everyone.
They weren't out.
Well, he got me 6 at Walmart, so now I love him again.
Okay.
He's like,
I have
found
one,
it.
Eris, and it doesn't really bother me. He's lazy, so I'm not here very often. Just like, get a dog, you'll beg for carpet.
Fry does seem to be a little confused that snow becomes water when you get back inside, and then you can't run and zoom at the cats. I may have had to ask Fry, what is wrong with you? Like, we do this every morning. Every morning. It's feet scrabble, 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 thunk. Meow.
That's noises like that. I guess, Eris, it probably comes with having so many children. You just don't even notice those kind of noises anymore. It just blends into all the other noise.
It's when things get quiet that makes you
Yes.
scared.
That's when you go,
Someone's lighting something on
quiet.
fire.
I used to constantly, when all the kids were little, I would be constantly counting them in my head when we're gone, like just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Like, and so if one of them was with a grandparent or an aunt or something, I was so thrown off. Like, because my count is wrong.
I have been known to, because all of mine are kind of toe-headed and stair step, I have been known to like try to yell at other people's children when they're checking out, like, "Hey, I told you we are not looking at." I was like, "No, you're not mine.
Yeah,
Never mind." That. As you were, continue touching all the things.
I yelled.
No, go ahead, lick that.
I yelled at my brother's mother-in-law one time for coming in the house. We were a farm and they were all supposed to be outside, and I was doing something in there, and she come in the back door. I'm like, you need to go outside where you were told. Never mind. My
You're
bad.
like,
Yelling at some 60-year-old woman.
Yeah, or I love my favorite thing to do. Well, not my favorite thing, but the thing that always I thought my mom was magic is she could go from she's on the phone like, hello, and then you're doing something, she's like, I will leave you doors. And I was like, how did she get a demon voice in there? It's like, has she been watching Linda Blair too? And now I do it too. I'm like, excuse me, sorry, 1 second. If y'all don't, I will destroy this.
That's it.
We have seen She-Devil.
Nothing makes them need you more than getting on the phone. Like, I cannot, or getting on a live stream, I will not see my children all dang day. And I pop onto a live stream or I take a phone call, and that's what I've told my sister many times, actually, I'll call you in 18 years. I can't.
That's why I ask, I'm like, can we do this on text? Look, I am infinitely better when I don't have to talk, and I can read this because I can still apparently make a peanut butter sandwich while doing it. Right. My favorite was when I used to work out, and you'll get on the treadmill or something, and that's the time someone wants you to open like a pudding pop, and you're like, I'm busy but I need a string cheese, Mom. And you're like, I am running invisible hills right now with the disembodied voice of that Jillian chick from Biggest Losers telling me I'm worth it. I'm going to need you to wait 5 minutes.
I miss that show. We have always managed to be sitting down with tacos, like giant tacos, and watch Biggest Loser.
My whole thing was I could understand like being lonely for your family, but the people that were whining, I was like, you're getting a chance to work out 24/7, not have any other distractions. Right. I mean, you have to eat their crappy food. I mean, look, none of that looked good to me, but I'm a weirdo who doesn't like anything green. So, the thought of having a salad-based diet is not really my jam. But,
That's why we
I mean,
like bacon diets.
yeah. I was like, but you have a personal trainer there. I mean, you basically have no other worries. I was like, please send me somewhere where all I have to worry about is getting fit and maybe
Right?
doing a burpee, okay?
Yep, I love that show when it was on. But they had some questionable things they were doing, so I understand why it's
Well,
gone,
yeah.
but
I understand why it's gone. Now I watch, okay, look, I'm a terrible person. I watch my 500-pound life doing
okay,
my
thank you,
workout.
Melissa. I feel like that's what my life is now. I'm driving, but I'm listening, or I'm working, but I'm listening.
Yeah,
That's what
that's
I
the
listen to him
only
stream. Certain streams I can watch while I work. Other ones I work too slow because I get too invested in what I'm listening to.
Well, that's why I have to kind of disconnect and not watch streams when I'm doing chores. Otherwise, I wanna like, "Oh, this
I'm
is
going to chat.
hilarious." I wanna jump in. And
Yep.
yeah, and then if I jump in, sometimes people will send me a link and I don't expect a link, but if I get a
Right.
link, then I'm like, "Oh, I'll go on." And
Right.
then I'm haven't done any chores ever. I'm like, "You guys are wearing the same clothes you wore yesterday."
That's a, I if we have a light night, I can usually like I love it when we have light night on Friday because I can listen to FNL. But if I'm busy, I just can't because I just find myself s- like I'll just stop doing what I'm doing because I and notice that I'm just sitting there listening. So I'm like, time to turn on music. Like, okay, I can't. I'm never gonna get finished for the night. And
Yeah, I I will say even just having this has been an adjustment for my family, like me doing this. I've
yeah,
tried to keep it on a schedule, and you would think that I haven't been on a fairly regular newsy news stream schedule to where people, kind of anticipate 7 o'clock. You'd think my family is new. This is the first time I've ever done a 7 p.m. stream because it's like, what are we doing? What are you doing tonight? I'm like, my stream.
hi David. Well, it's David Ayres.
Actually, David, I need to look at my cross stitch thing. I bet they have Star Wars. We can.
I bet they do.
I also can't buy any more kits until I finish at least two more than I
I know
have because I have.
buying crafting supplies and crafting are two different hobbies.
Yes. And according to my assistant in all things and husband, we are running out of space for my, future projects.
Yeah, I'm really good at the first one.
I'm like, look, I am good at spending an inordinate amount of money on the supplies, being very excited about a craft for about 6 months, and then putting it in a box until I get really excited about it again.
Yep, I go through crocheting stages. Like I do that with a lot of stuff. Like I'll get really into it and do it all the time, and then not. I haven't crocheted for years because I just I don't know. It got different after my mom died. Like because I don't know. That was also her thing. So
Yeah. Well, and it's okay to just not do it. There are seasons to
bye,
life.
Shizzy.
I
Yep.
Bye, Shizzy.
I think the last thing I made was actually when I found out I was pregnant with the youngest one, I made her a blanket. So, and I
Aw.
think that was the last, and then like a hat to match it, but I think that was the last thing that I made.
Well, and it's hard if you want to make something for yourself. Like
Yeah.
I used to make a lot of things for other people, and
Yeah.
then I found these kits, I think when I got hurt, and just having a nice something to decorate that I liked was nice.
You don't have nacho cheese fed? Oh,
What?
what? And what are we talking about? Oh, are you talking about making that yes.
Are we making a dip
It's
for chips or?
no, it's a like a taco casserole that she makes.
Ooh.
And it sounds I make something similar. Mine has Doritos in it though.
Oh.
Like I make hers is supposed to have tater tots, but she doesn't use tater tots. I think she said she was telling us about it on a stream. Oh, like I think it was like her first stream that I actually watched. Um, I fell in love with the Minnesota accent, so I asked her.
Oh,
I
yes.
asked Crime Spies what her favorite casserole was, and it turned into a 20-minute discussion about
It's
casseroles.
called hot dish, and
Amen. Yes, I actually also call them hot dish, but
and
but a
it's
lot of people still
the
call them casseroles.
it's casserole around this neck of the woods, but I used to do a freeze ahead meal
Mhm.
service. So I did the big batch. There's a lovely woman on YouTube. It's called the Large Family Table. She
I
is a
know that.
momfluencer, but she's
Mhm.
down to earth and she's not ridiculous. But she has 9 kids and she does this like giant batch meals.
Yep, I
So
watch her. I do that sometimes. Ugh,
so
not often
yeah,
enough.
I would do that, and then other people are like, well, if you would make some for me, I'd pay you and freeze ahead. And it became a little business, but then COVID happened. So,
Yep. Yeah, I used to watch her quite a bit actually. I haven't for a long time, but I like her meal freezing prep work. I love all of her pans that she has. I'm
oh, I
jealous.
know. For Christmas one year, we budgeted getting one of her big packs. So
Mhm.
I printed them out and then I printed and made a recipe book for my little brother and sister for like the crock pot for the single family
Yeah.
because they're kind of at that age where they're starting to move out and do their own thing.
Mhm.
And I was like, look, these are, I know, ramen noodle is good and all, but these are, not expensive meals that you could make and have, good food while you're at it.
Right. That's so weird to me, Fed. Like, we have so much cheese in this country.
We do.
Thank you, David. David has just the interrogation, the edited version of Zach's interrogation without all the
Oh,
commentary. So I want to
oh,
sit and
that's
just
great.
watch it. So
Yeah, I am so glad that we're getting more, you guys are getting more of the background information to show how
yeah.
shoddy this stuff was
Right.
and
Well,
get
because there's
out.
obviously a reason they didn't show it in the trial.
Well,
So
yeah.
otherwise they would have been because they could have.
Well, that, and I think that Judge Schroeder should have never been allowed to judge. I haven't seen the whole
No.
trial. Like I said, that is a case that everyone has a case that's just not one that they can do right then. And
Mm-hmm.
just because of his name, it's just One
Oh,
thing I just
that's
can't.
right.
So, and I feel bad because it seems like a really awesome case, but it's just like that name over and over again. It just, oh, okay, no, I tried and it's not going to work right now.
Excuse me, Crime Spies. What is a cheeseburger muffin cup? Oh, this is what it is. Take the crescent rolls, break it apart with spoon, muffin pan, ground. Ooh, nice. I like doing meatloaf in muffin tins.
I need to do
Cooks
some
so
of
much
those. I
better.
need to do some more of those because my husband will, you know, again, little girl from TikTok who's like, I can't live on,
Mm,
Walmart. You know, those of us who know pack our lunches
right.
because we don't eat out every
And we
day
don't go
because
buy a $14 cup of coffee every day and
yeah, it's just goodness. Like I said, had we had, a place to air our dumb ideas when I was younger, I'm sure that I would have
right.
come up with a fair few of dumb, but oh ma'am,
Right.
don't dumb on the internet. It's forever.
Yes. And I'm sure everybody felt like the generation before them had it so much easier or
Yeah. Uh, But I do like, some of my kids are coming up to me and saying, "Hey, I want you to teach me how to do this and this so I know how to do it before I move out of the house." So
right.
it is interesting to see that a lot of kids that aren't on TikTok all the time are really interested in, learning some new things. Even and with these the price of food going up, there's a lot of interest in kind of some of the things that big families have been doing kind of just by sort of nature for a while, like buying in bulk and buying generic and all that stuff. So
Mhm.
it's really interesting to see that kind of shift. Uh,
I
you know,
that's we go to Sam's Club just like to buy supper. Like like it's the bulk stock up size. I'm like, "Oh, yeah, that's supper."
I
Like,
was like, yeah, that rotisserie chicken, we need two.
yeah, exactly. If
I
I go
mean,
to Walmart and it's like the party size, I'm like, "Get two."
yeah, well, I remember when the coup first started and everyone was like bulk buying for the first time, and you'd get these like hateful looks when you went in, and I'm like, no, this is a
Yeah, I'm just
Tuesday for me. I don't
yep.
look, I'm not like y'all.
Right, exactly. I'm not stocking up, like, I'm just buying my groceries. I hate it, like, down I don't know about around there, but if there is a mention of snow, they wipe out the stores, and it always seems to happen on, like, my regular shopping day. I'm like, "Are you kidding me?"
So that the one thing that I've had to learn to deal with is for the bigger shoppings, I now have to go with Mr. Mo, which means we have to brave the Sam's Club
Mhm.
uh on a Saturday or a Sunday. And I don't know what about free sample size or the Saturday or Sunday confuses everyone that touches the cart that goes into Sam's Club. I don't know if they've never been in a store before or if it just is a shock. But the amount of people I just see just wandering, and I'm like, I'm here on a mission. Look, I'm a little too vain to admit I need one of them scooter things sometimes, and I'm not going to drive them because I have terrible peripheral vision and no counter is going to be safe. But I need you not to be confused. Like,
"Get out of my
like,
way!"
yeah, and they only have like one checker outer, and
Oh,
I'm like, oh.
I use the scan and go, like, "Mm-mm, get me out of here."
I seem to be cursed with that thing. I have tried it. It just doesn't like me. Ended up ringing up a order like 5 times and charging our credit card 5 times, and then
Oh,
I'm not allowed to use it anymore. So, there's reasons that I have to go to the checker.
oh, ouch. Yeah. Yeah, they never have more than one or two.
Yeah. And then the person that, scans your, receipt. Like,
Ugh.
why?
Somebody said I saw an article or something where they're getting rid of that.
Huh. I
They're
guess they're
some AI, I don't know, some camera system they're doing now. I don't know. Who knows? It's a
I don't
Walmart
know.
company, so it'll be a mess anyway, whatever they do.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be efficient and well run.
Yeah.
That'll happen. It'll be a first.
As all Walmart things are.
Yeah, no. Although I never feel more terrible for people that work at Walmart than at that morning meeting, since I go early in the morning if I can. That morning meeting is
Give me a
painful for me
W.
too. I just want y'all to know I feel pain with you, because I cannot imagine a more office space like
Give me
TPS report.
squiggly.
Just the like camp counselor, like one manager that's really into it, and the rest of them are like, I have to miss a smoke break for this bullshit. Just, oh my God, I hate everyone. I would stab everyone here if I could get away with it. I mean, and it's just, I feel your pain, people. That was the only reason I did not apply at Walmart, because I was like, there will be no way in hell I'll make it through one of them meetings.
Yep, you gotta learn it. Eris, I think I'm gonna make meatloaf tomorrow too. My friend the other day when we were at the gym was talking about making one, and I'm like, oh, it sounds so good. But I have to find some kind of filler that I can eat. Because if I make meatloaf, I want to eat it.
So I made meatloaf. They've got, I'm sure you can make your own pork rind dust, but pork rind crumbles
Oh,
instead of breadcrumbs. It'd be
okay, that would work.
in
Because
our
when I
Walmart, it's in
normally
the
make it,
same area as the breadcrumbs. Now, I will say that it
okay,
is pricey, so if you have a favorite flavor of pork rind that you like, I would just get that and put it in the food processor.
right?
Because I
Yeah,
will probably never buy the little crumbles again now that I thought I could just put it through. I was like, why am I
right.
buying this when you can? I was
Because
like,
when
never
I
mind, I'll just
normally
have.
make it, I use stovetop for the filler. I love using, especially the sage one. That's my favorite one, is put that in for the filler, but I can't eat that now, so.
Yeah.
But I will probably still do that for the other humans in my house, because they're not. But
My
yeah, that's a
husband
good
said
idea.
it tasted just, I mean, normal. I said, was the texture okay? I have not been, I don't know if it's my new medicine or what. I have not been hungry.
Mm-hmm.
So except for like cashews and key lime pie, no idea. I mean, I probably just have been living on cashews.
I need to make some keto pancakes one of these days. My kids love those.
Do you make the ones with cream cheese and eggs?
Yes, yes.
My kids steal the hell out of those. And I'm like,
Yep.
those are my bread / everything else. Would you stop? And they're like, too good, must eat. And with real
Yep,
syrup. And I'm
they're like cheesecakes.
yeah, yes.
Baker
But
would
I'm
love
like, Baker would kill us. That's what you need to make at Dollywood. Just make some
like
of the.
even because I did keto a long time ago and learned how to make them, and so then even when I quit doing it for a long time, they were still, Mom, can we make keto pancakes? I'm like, oh,
My youngest calls them egg pancakes. And I actually have some cream cheese softening right now so I can make a big batch.
Nice.
tonight, because that's my thing. If it's just me I'm cooking for, if I don't do a big batch of cooking like at the beginning of the week and have
Right.
everything ready, then just give me some protein shakes. I'd rather not stop
Yep.
and eat
Yep.
and then
Have you done
hold me
chaffles
about
yet?
the what?
The chaffles, the cheese waffles?
Oh, yeah, I've tried it. I will say that just having like not been super hungry,
Yeah. That's it. I
I
don't get
haven't
hungry
really.
all that often anymore. Like I do bulletproof coffee and I'm good for a really long time after that. So,
Yeah, I mean, if it weren't physically impossible and Mr. Mo and I were not both spay and neutered, look, at this point, I am done using the pieces and parts, and I can wax a beard and or mustache. Bring on menopause for the love of God, because wherever my hormones and everything else is, I would like
mhm.
to be notified what's happening in my own body once in a while. Because I now have 3 girls that are also hormonal in my house, and I would just like us
Oh.
to alternate being crazy instead of just full time, all the time crazy.
Mhm. White rice, cauliflower, pork. What are you talking about? I'm confused, Eris. I don't eat white
Crackers.
rice. Are you talking about for a filler? For meatloaf?
I I have never heard of rice.
No, and I
I've
don't
heard of
eat.
cornflakes.
Oh, cornflakes. Yeah, pork rinds would be the only one on that list that would be keto approved.
Cauliflower, I don't know that. Look, I
I love cauliflower.
I will eat cauliflower because it is a vegetable that I'm supposed to eat, but look, it's no potato. It's not rice. We can call it
You,
whatever we want to, but it
you
is
know
not
what
those
I
things.
like? I love riced cauliflower. They have the one that I can't remember some kind of herb one at Walmart, and I love that. But yeah, it's not a potato. What I do like for a potato substitute is radishes.
Okay, I'll have
Cooked
to try those.
cooked radish. Like I cut them into like kind of cubed, about like the cubed hash browns, kind of like that,
Okay.
and do them with an oil or whatever and cook them. They like I can't stand raw radishes. I hate that hot like tongue burn that they can't stand it. They're gross to me. But cooking a radish, it totally changes the flavor of it, and I love them. I should do that one. I haven't had it in a long time, but I should do that. I love it.
Yeah.
It doesn't have it has like a potato texture to it when they're cooked, and
Okay.
they don't have that weird hot tongue burn kind of flavor.
That's yeah, it's just I have always been a self-professed picky eater. I'm just
Hmm.
so I'm always like, something's not quite right here. Like whoever said kale chips are good. Whoever
No.
invented kale chips needs to be brought before the, UN.
My niece used
Do
to eat them
some
all the time. Ugh.
I was
Oh, they're
like,
good if you do this. No, they're not. I don't care what you do to them unless you're gonna, I don't know. Nothing is going to make kale taste good.
no.
It's so
Well, I
bitter
mean,
and
okay,
gross.
kale is good in that soup that they make with the potato and the sausage from, Olive Garden, but there's nothing even
Never
halfway
had it.
remotely healthy about that. So, although my husband really likes if you substitute the potatoes out of that, I put riced cauliflower and I'll make him the cauliflower soup like that.
My sister used to have rice cakes all the time, Eris. We used to go
I
that
love
like
rice
when I
cakes.
would stay over there, we would go get them all the time out of her stash and eat them. They're really good with peanut butter on them.
Or frosting, which kind of defeats the point.
Ooh, right?
Look, as a chubby person, I can tell you, frosting makes a lot of things better.
That's what was the stream they were talking about? Had to stop working and comment that I think it was probably MGUs, but bacon, chocolate, or cheese makes everything better.
Pretty much.
Too lazy for popcorn to pop, so she ate rice cakes. I love asparagus now. I hated it when I was younger. Couldn't stand it. Now I love it. I haven't had it
It
I need to start
smells
buying
funny.
some of this.
I cook it for my husband and my feral boy children. They like it. I just roast it in the oven with olive oil, but
Mm-hmm.
it smells funny.
I like throwing lemon slices on it when I roast it in the oven. It's good. Sea salt and olive oil and lemon slices. Whew. So good.
I will say none of the boys are really that picky. None of my kids are as picky as I am. I always feel bad because they're like, "Are your kids picky eaters?" I'm like, "No, but I still use a toddler tray because my food can't touch." Also, do you have
Mine
chicken
aren't.
fingers?
That's what I said on MG's the other. That's what it was. We were talking about his kids and things. I don't. We to have take it or leave it at my house. Like, I don't. I have one boy that does not like rice. Like has never liked rice. Will not touch it. Will you could make him he'd sit at the table for a month if you like tried to pull that. So he want like oh man, he was probably 3 years old when we made the deal. You don't have to eat rice when we have rice, but you have to have double vegetables. Fine. My kids love vegetables, like all of them. They like broccoli and ghost broccoli is what we've called cauliflower since the oldest is probably a
Oh,
toddler. And then green bean balls, peas,
oh,
and the big green beans are asparagus. Like all these fun names that stuff got when the older ones are toddlers.
oh
Like
yeah.
we still call everything that. So but yeah,
Like,
so he's always done double vegetable instead of doing rice, which is fine. If you have an actual aversion to something, I'm not going to force you to eat it, but I don't
look,
play games with food.
I started cooking because my mom, look, she likes chunky things, and I'm like,
Oh,
mother.
your mom likes me?
Well, so like, also she was pregnant when I was in high school, and so we may have
Mhm.
had like spaghetti 8 days in a row for a month, because someone wanted spaghetti all the time. And
Right?
she likes chunky sauce, and chunky sauce is gross. So I was like, look, if I start cooking, can I make decisions around here? And she's like, hey, I
Right?
don't have to cook. And I was like,
Right?
alrighty then. There's a new sheriff in town. We got some chunks to deal with.
Eris, I love the flavor of liver. I cannot do the texture of it. It feels
I have
like
never
putting a
tried it.
spoonful of kitty litter in my mouth. We
Well,
used to
not
have to
trying it
make
now.
it yeah, it's got such a gritty like ugh. Like the flavor was good though, but we used to have to make it like once or twice a month when the bar that I worked at, we did the Meals on Wheels for this little tiny town. So we had to it's part of their Meals on Wheels thing, like the food stuff they had to do. So plus the old people love liver and onions.
Ugh.
And I don't know if that's just how it's cooked kind of thing that gives it that texture or what, but I do like gizzards though.
You know, I said it when I was 12. I'll say it again now. It is current year. If it's good for me, it should be in a damn pill form. I don't know why we can't extrapolate the goodness from whatever it is I'm supposed to be eating, put it in a gummy form, and let me eat it that way. Because look, me and an avocado are never going to have fun, but I will take an avocado pill.
Oh, I love avocado. I eat more avocado than about anything right now. Like, I love them.
Oh, I wish I
I'll
could. They're just so green and they smell green. And no matter how you try to hide it in like a smoothie or the pudding,
I
you
just
just
eat
taste the
them. I can eat them
green.
raw. And I let my favorite is to I actually because they're not good right now in the store. So I haven't been buying them whole. I've been buying they have Walmart has these packs and over by the salad and stuff, and it's like diced up
Oh
avocado
yeah.
in like little sealed packages, and I will dump one of those on the grill and grill it and then eat it with next to eggs or whatever. Oh man, it's so good.
I know. So when everyone was upset about, no avocado toast, I was like, Mark's safe. Don't care.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite foods. I could eat avocado every day. It's
I
expensive
wish I
though.
were more adventurous. I'm like, it's a whole lot green going on there.
Hi, Flux. Mrs. Flux agrees with you. She said if it's not carrots or corn, just put it in a pill and she'll take it. She stands with
Seriously.
Mo.
Again, I still have not received a jetpack, which I was promised from the Jetsons. What was that year, 2024? They were supposed to be depicting. I want my effing jetpack
And a
and my
Rosie.
flying car and my Rosie. Yeah, what? Screw the jetpack. Seriously, where's my Rosie?
No. Yep,
So
it's
yeah,
so
just
funny how all these foods like people are yes and the other ones are no.
well, it is funny because some people really love things and like I love fruitcake. I love the store-bought fruitcake.
Ew,
I love it.
ew.
I don't know, like it has like, you know, candied fruit and Skittles. I don't know what it is. It's the gaudiest of crazy thing. And maybe it's the rum to be really real with
Probably.
everyone. Look, but it definitely is an acquired taste. I could never get why people liked beer. Beer is bread water to me. Bread
Ooh, it
soda.
is. I do like Bush's peach. Is it peach? I think that's what it was. Whatever their summer flavor was. Man, I drank a lot of that this summer until I had a little mishap with the shower bar or the towel bar in the bathroom, and
Oh
then
no.
I haven't had a beer since.
No, no. I always have to remind
Um,
myself if you're going to like sometimes if on the blue moon that we go out that real bartenders don't mix for like te- teetotalers. In fact, that might be how we got our middle son because Mo ordered a Mother's Day margarita and she'd be damned if she wasn't going to finish an $8 drink because that was $8 damn dollars. Mr. Mo was helping me out of the restaurant.
it was a lot cheaper to buy the Bush uh, than it was to. I like Washington apples, so but those get kind of expensive if you're just sitting around watching YouTube and drinking. So
I will say I like the hard ciders, some of them that are a little bit drier, or the long finish drink. Now Those are good, and they've got the zero sugar one. It's like a gin and something or other. But they also
I
have a
never tried it.
cranberry.
We looked for some hard ciders for a friend when we were down in Florida because you can't get them. You couldn't get them up here at the time, and I don't know. I can't remember if we ever found them or not, but we had. You're at holy beer at the Ed Sheeran concert was $12. Oofta, no thanks.
Yeah, no.
We went to can't remember who it was. Last fall. Let me look at my music. And that beer was stupid expensive too.
Well, wasn't it? Oh gosh. Was it Taylor Swift that was way overpricing her tickets, or was it the Ticketmaster people? Because I remember a lot of friends, like, look, my kids didn't ask for Taylor Swift tickets, but there were a lot of mom friends that were trying to get those for Christmas or something, maybe a year ago, and they were like, "Yeah, we got, such and such a seat for $700." I was like, to what?" I was like, "Look, someone will put that on YouTube and she can pretend she is right there. We have a
I'm
big
supposed because
screen
it was
TV."
Ticketmaster. Yeah. We went to Sam Hunt and the beer was ridiculous. I think we got like 2 or whatever, but whew. I'm
That's a
not
good
a
idea.
I'm not a concert goer because I
I,
don't like spending money on stuff like that.
I I wish I were more. It's a whole lot of. If it were a small venue, maybe like with the Counting
Yeah.
Crows, like, okay, I'm there. Little small venue. But then if you get the person that wants to sing the lyrics next to you and they don't do it
Who does
well,
this song again? I did that
and
to
I'm
one of my
like,
managers the other night. He started singing
and I'm
something dumb. I'm like, who does this one again?
and I'm like, I am paying to listen to the man who used to have dreadlocks. I'm gonna need you to be quiet over here. Look, I don't
Right?
go out and people much. Could you just be?
We went to Maverick, Top Gun Maverick, and I almost yelled at a bunch of teenagers because they kept getting up and leaving. Like every 5 freaking minutes, they were getting up, walking in and out, and oh, I'm like, listen, this movie ain't for you. This movie's for us. You go home and watch it on DVD. Quit ruining my experience.
That is, that is the rudest thing to me. I don't mind the rare times that Mr. Mo and I go out to eat. I don't know if it's like take a break from your parenting responsibilities day, but we are always sat next to the family with like 7 feral children just running amok. And
Do you ask them, do you
look,
know what causes that?
well, no, and
Right,
the
you can't
parents
ever
are
get away
just
from it.
not paying attention, and I go into mom mode, so I'm not even in wife mode anymore. I'm watching
Right?
these kids because y'all are obviously jacking your jaw or doing, I don't know, ordering the lava cake. I, like your kids are over here fist fighting in the, could you, and Mr. Mo can be oblivious to it, but I can't. That's the part. I'm like,
Yeah,
a little baby, crying a little bit in a restaurant. We've all been
right.
there. Your kids are like 10 and 11. Now, they both bear a striking resemblance to Banjo Boy from Deliverance, but I'm sure they can be taught. So, could we
Yep,
do something? Like, that is the rudest thing to me. I mean,
yep. Leave them at
toddlers and
home if they're
babies,
not gonna like noises are fine if they're sitting at the table and being
yeah, I mean,
children,
normal
but
kid noises I can get.
yeah,
It's when you let your kids act a fool. that's where no judgment to the mom who has a 3-year-old or even a 4-year-old who's having a rough day, and you're just trying to check things out. That's no judgment from me. But when you have the older kids and they're either cussing you or doing something, and I'm like, all right, you don't want me to have to step in, because look,
Right?
I have no biological incentive to make sure your lineage continues, and this one is eyeballing me. All right. And I was like, look, I have 6 children at home. I rarely get out with my husband. Don't make me star on the 6 o'clock news, okay?
But then you can play it for Newsy News.
But I'd be in real jail. Although it might
I
help me
mean,
do Donna's accent better. Like,
right? Maybe you'll meet somebody we've covered. I thought about that. What if, what? I don't know if Jamie's still here, but maybe we can get his little buddy from Florida to come up to Dollywood.
oh my gosh. My fondest hope is that somehow, someday, Donna and Sarah, get a cell together, because I can only imagine the torture it would be for both of them, because they both think they're both self-righteously right all the time. I can only
Right?
imagine how that will end, and I wish there's video of it. I mean, without a suitcase, Donna has a fighting chance.
We talked about that on some stream, probably David's, because I think it's been a long time ago. So it was probably before any of the rest of you guys started streaming. But like inmate fight club, like which defendants do we want to pair together? All these lovely ladies we've met.
Okay, so you know who I would pair for maximum mental torture for each other together?
Is
Because,
Letitia one of them?
well, sort of, but my first pairing would be Joel Guy Jr. and Dale Brooks together, because Daryl Brooks wants nothing more than someone to pay attention to him, and Joel Guy Jr. wants nothing more than people to leave them alone. So,
Right?
Daryl would be Daryling
Oh,
to a blank wall, and Joel would just be constantly tormented by someone who wants to tell him about the business.
oh, that would be excellent.
And now,
They
if we could
need
put them in a plastic ISO cube and stream it, I feel like
right.
we
That's
could
what I'm
make
like.
this prison
Yes.
profitable.
What's that? There was that one where they like put these strangers in like the box and they had to live together or whatever, or some kind of. Was it a
Isn't that Sam
Mr.
Hyde?
Beast?
I think Sam Hyde did that too, but I think Sam
Oh.
Hyde's was more of just mental torture.
I can't remember what it was that but you could do
It
that with
sounds
the
like something
inmates.
Mr. Beast, or it's hilarious, or it's awesome. I can't remember what the
I
other
don't know
thing.
all of them.
It's outrageous. My kids are watching the Skibbity Toilet. I don't know. My youngest wants to grow up to be Siren Head, so I mean, we all have career goals.
My
try
kids
to
used to
explain that.
always watch, well, they still do, like watch kids play with toys.
Oh
Like
yeah, that Ryan's
unboxing
World.
videos. Oh, yeah.
Ryan's World. I was like, those sons of bitches. I was like, my kids have toys too. Dang it.
No, they
And
don't
if I
want to play with
wanted to,
their toys though. They want to watch other kids play with their toys, not even play with them, open them.
and does every toy have to include slime?
Oh,
Look,
the toddler told on one of her older sisters the other day. I was going to the bathroom, and of course, she had to come in and monitor that. And I can't
right.
wait to pee in peace again. But
I
she's
thought
like,
it was gonna happen, but now Fry and the cats must know what I'm doing at all times, or they cry and paw at the door because
oh,
in
yep.
case I disappeared. I'm like, you guys, I'm just peeing. You got your litter boxes are covered. Fry, you go outside allegedly, although you can't seem to learn that. So,
She she come in, she's like, Mom, and then he made slime with your soap. And I'm like, fantastic. Slime is supposed to be banned at this house. And every oh, I hate that stuff so bad. And now I got girls making it when I'm not around.
yeah, and it gets everywhere there, even when it's like, no, Mom, I got my own
Sure.
Tupperware to put it completely only in my room. I'm like, no,
I have a
no.
oh, yep, I don't like if you buy my children Play-Doh or slime or any of the rest of that crap, it is going to be at your house. It won't come to my house. That's when Shizzy made those whistles for his nieces and nephews. I'm like,
Oh, you are a
I,
mean son of
I
a.
don't feel one bit bad for you that they sent you home with the sickness.
I know. That's like giving them a recorder. Why are you that mean?
Oh, oh man,
Well,
those things were awful.
you know what? Yeah.
Another perk to homeschooling, no
Yeah,
recorders.
serious. Well, the youngest two, the school that they go to believes in introducing real instruments. So I'm sure that a violin will be much, much more pleasing
Oh,
to the ears.
when we lived in Montana, we lived in this triplex. And the family that lived in the middle one, the daughter that they had, what was it, a trumpet, I think, and she'd send her out on the dang shared porch to go and practice. I'm like, woman, paybacks are coming for you.
Oh, yeah. It's look, I'm hoping that none of them choose band, but I have a feeling that the youngest, most feral will definitely want to do band because of course he will.
Right?
And it'll be the most annoying instrument ever,
Uh,
or the
yeah.
drums.
Oh, the drums, oh, I wouldn't be able to do it. Don't you want a
Well,
quieter instrument?
well, they have electric drums that you can like he can
Mm-hmm.
because we've been told that because he has ADHD and is really accelerated in math, the drums might be a good instrument because it's all about math and rhythm.
Right.
And I didn't want to add it there, but I was like, y'all, have you seen our church when we try to do anything in rhythm? It is like the beginning of The Jerk or when Forrest Gump is in the choir. It's just I'm like,
Right.
look, he doesn't come from a people of rhythm, if you will. I don't know that this is going to work out for him.
Oh, Sean. No. Be nice to the parents.
Sean, I don't know that. Where do I send the flowers to your eulogy?
Right? That's my sister before she started having kids was the best parent, you know how everybody is when they don't have
Oh,
kids.
yes.
My nieces and nephew make all of my dreams come true. I always I can't wait. Oh, they're the best. They- oh,
Oh no, my husband
no.
was that uncle. So my husband got my before we were married, got his sister's children drum kits and bead kits, and I told his sister, "Look, we're starting fresh with this child. I didn't get any of those dumb gifts.
Right?
Send a drum set to my house." And no. This is not a good idea.
Right? Oh, all the noisy and messy and my children will never.
Oh
Or my
gosh.
children will, my nieces and nephews never like never before too. I love it.
Oh, well,
Every
that's like
time she had a story with one of them doing something like that children do, I'm just like, not so
yeah,
easy,
no.
is it?
Well, I always liked before I was a parent, I thought I would never answer because I said so. I always thought that was so,
Yep.
insane and, just why couldn't a parent ever, just make, it's just a simple question. Don't say just because I
Yeah.
told you so. And then
But
when
when
you
you've
are
answered that
asked,
simple question 9,000 times,
yeah, and you only
because
have
I'm the
so much
mom,
Jesus left in you, and you pull out, because I said so. And
right?
then everyone's they don't hear you when nice mommy asks 170 times. And then, slightly irritated mommy asks, pick up the thing. Because nice mommy said, please pick this up. I would really appreciate it. Then
Hmm.
irritated mommy says, pick this up, please. And then mommy comes back. Then pissed mom comes back and like, why is this still on the floor? Now, all of those are apparently hearing levels that your children don't have.
Yep.
Because then comes Samuel L. Jackson, mommy. Why is this motherfucking sandal still on the motherfucking floor? I have asked you all 50 fucking times to pick it up. Now, I'm trying to keep Samuel L. Jackson mom down
Right?
as much as possible. But the problem is that no one hears anything until Samuel L. Jackson mommy comes out, and then they look at each other as you're leaving. I don't know
What
why she is yelling
happened?
all the
Yep.
time. She is always yelling. Like she could
Yep.
just ask nicely.
Yeah, I like that meme that comes out like every spring. Now that spring's here and the windows are open, notice to my neighbors, if you hear me screaming like a banshee, just know I asked them to do it nicely 10 times.
Yeah. It's, look, nice mommy has asked 173 times, and her shift is over.
Yep.
New management has taken over. And y'all have seen She Devil. I mean, I may or may not pattern my life after that movie, but just saying, do not tick me off.
Right?
And
Yeah.
can we talk about how Roseanne has become hot and like all the rest of these Madonna's become a
What?
weirdo?
She
Like
has?
Roseanne looks really good for her age, and Madonna, look, if it makes her feel powerful to gyrate oddly in front of people, I
Yeah.
just can you can we can you not? I
I
mean, at
don't.
70, I don't really want to see that, really.
Yeah,
That
me
and that
neither.
weird face thing that she had done. I mean, I know it was still puffy, but ma'am, yipes.
Yeah, I saw that one picture of her. It, she's not looking so hot.
But Roseanne
She
has
the
aged beautifully.
Well, because I think she probably just let herself age. And trying to
So
stop it is doing more harm than good, I think.
well, that and look, at some point you are where you are in life. Like, Cher,
Right.
ma'am,
Oof.
you are where you are. Like, I don't get that the younger boyfriend, I mean, fine, but at some point, it's okay to kind of go Joan Collins and start wearing the very sequined, you know, curtain dresses.
Just put me on a moo and
Listen, Your granny wore a house dress every day, made your
Still
grandpa,
had
you know,
14
biscuits from
kids.
Lards, and had 14 kids in a 2-bedroom house.
Yep.
So I guess no one really had to explain the birds and the bees. Though foreplay might have been. I'm just kidding.
They made it work.
I know. Hell, even that one Alaskan family. Oh my gosh, you want to watch an interesting
Oh,
family? That
the bush
Alaska,
people?
the Bush people family.
Yes, I've seen those.
They are, and then the parents are like, "Well, how did you keep having all these children in a one? The outside happened." It's just like,
Right?
oh God, no,
When my dad lived with
no.
us, he loved watching Alaskan Bush People. We watched that and Bones a lot. And I actually even got him into Grey's Anatomy. I really like the
I
early
want to
seasons of
start
Grey's
watching that.
Anatomy. I don't watch it anymore, but I really enjoy the early seasons. Then they got like super political and everything and it got dumb, but
Ugh. Oh
um
yeah. Ugh.
and Dr. Pole. I haven't watched him. I have a hard time watching it now that he's gone, so it's one of those things, but Dr. Pole's really good too. He's a vet and he does
Oh.
like both large and like he goes out and
Oh yeah,
pulls
I
calves.
remember.
Yeah. We watched a lot of that when he was here.
Why are you playing with a colander? Put it back. And tongs, put them back. It, just, you know, the
I can't
things I
believe you
never
still
thought,
ask these questions. Yeah, the things you never
the
thought
things
you'd
I never
say.
thought I'd shout. D- Like, no, you cannot touch anyone else's nose. You cannot pick your own. You cannot pick your brother's. No, no, no. These
Well,
like
I
things I
seem
never
to
had to yell with the
remember
girls.
I
And I
remember
was like,
something from your show one day, and you were talking about adult toys. I never thought I would have to tell a child that a double header was not a sword. So,
well, he was like, they, or an electric toothbrush just saved really funny. I was like, no, it's not a toothbrush. Thank you very much. Wonderful.
right?
Yep. Uh, I don't know why you were in my room, but you're not supposed to be in here.
Well, I used
All
to
right.
sell those things, so I had a kit like for showing, and oh, better put that out in the car.
So I think my mom was the only person that didn't realize what pure romance was. And she's like, yeah, I had to, she said, did you know what pure romance was? And I was like, Mom, I don't think you want to understand the books that I read. And I don't want to talk to you about them. And quite frankly, the fact that so many women read 50 Shades of Grey and then went to see it in the theater, there was a whole bunch of cat sweaters there, I'm sure. I just, ugh. Anywho, she's like, yeah, she's like, I pulled up the thing on my computer at work, and do you know what they sell? Like, Mom, how did you not know what they sold?
All right. Would you like to get you some thunder beads, Mom?
She's like, I ended up ordering something or other. I can't even remember. And I was like, Mom remembers. I'm gonna find out do your taxes. No, I'm just kidding.
Right? I don't sell it anymore, but I do love the miracle oil. That stuff is amazing. I was like, man, when I sold that stuff, I was like that on my big fat Greek wedding, the dad with his Windex. I
Yes.
was like that with miracle oil, man. Just put some miracle oil on it.
I love that movie. I think I'm gonna watch that movie tonight. I love that movie.
I haven't seen that in a long time. Ugh.
And I like the other guy from uh not Justin Timberlake, the brunette. Whatever, I don't know his name. I call
Not
him not Justin
Timber
Timberlake.
not Justin Timberlake.
He's from NSYNC. He's Greek, I guess. He was on Dancing with the Stars,
Oh, I know who you're talking.
and he's
I can
not
picture him.
Nick
I
Latchkey
don't.
or whatever his name is.
Nick Lachey. I know who you're talking about, but I don't know his name. Jamie's not here
Because there was the
anymore.
one
She
that
would
looked like
know.
Jesus, and then the one that looked like had a douchey little goatee. I mean, and
Yeah.
then there was Justin Timberlake, Nick, what's his face, and then this guy, or maybe that was
Is
no
it
wait,
Joey?
maybe
Okay.
Joey
It was
Faroni or something.
Justin, JC, Lance. It was not Lance. It's Joey Fatone, or yeah, I think it's Joey.
Maybe it was Joey. I don't know.
I googled him.
I did not do the boy bands. I was more Alanis Morissette, Fiona Apple, Tori Amos. It was
That is true, Fed. He's changed so much. At this point, you could say he's not Justin Timberlake. Oh.
true. Though he did get to marry
Okay.
the hot chick from Seventh
Hi,
Heaven,
Lady
so
Adams
you know.
guy. Lady Adams guy says that he was in my big fat Greek wedding.
Yeah, because isn't he Greek? I
I have
think.
no idea.
No idea. My favorite scene in that is when they show when she's like, and I found your bridesmaid dress, and she takes off the coat, and it's this horrible tulle monstrosity, and everyone is like, this is the most beautiful thing, and she's like, oh, what is this? And her wedding dress is just all the tulle and insanity, and it's like
I'm gonna have to watch that movie. Man, it's been forever.
that one. What's another one that I always watch if it comes on? Okay, Pretty in Pink, but I always change. I look, I don't watch the ending. She always gets with Ducky in my version, because look, that one dude sold her out. He's a rich dude. She's going off to college somewhere. Ducky has been there with her for forever. Why the hell she went with douchey guy, I don't know.
They always do.
And then 16 Candles, because Jake Ryan is hot. And now he's a carpenter. He's even hotter. It's like, this is not possible, sir. I know you're married, but now you're a carpenter and Jake Ryan. Do you understand? And the guy and the bus driver from Mermaids. I mean, there was a lot of teen angst in that whole thing.
Well, you're gonna have to send us some pictures, Fed, and we'll let you know. We'll do a poll.
We can. You can. But I actually do probably need to get off here in just a little bit and start some dinner, because, people are like,
I'm gonna have to
we've
get
had
off
lunch.
and go to bed.
Yes.
So that I can wake up in like 3 hours, and I don't know. My schedule's so weird on the weekends. It's so hard to have a real life on your days off, so.
And it's hard when you're trying to get a schedule back too.
Right. That is the hardest, is going back to work on Tuesday night. Like, ugh.
Yeah. And then with all the holidays we've been having, it's like you can't just get back into your set thing before another holiday comes up and messes up that work week.
Yep. And I work in retail, so it's all the holidays. We're gearing up for Valentine's Day and Super Bowl and the weather. The weather is the worst thing right now. That wipes us out. So.
Oh yeah. Well,
yes,
you've got to get your eggs, bread, milk, and Mountain Dew before the snow fairies come.
And flour. I'm sorry, you people don't bake ever. What are you gonna bake during a blizzard? Like, I don't get it.
We don't do the flour so much, but it is milk, egg. It is French toast fixin'. I don't know if it's just. I'm like, if two of those things aren't really shelf stable, but okay. So
That's
unless you guys,
I remember one year when I worked and we still had people in the store at night. When I got to work that night, all of the hamburger was gone, every bit of it. And you just knew they were all making chili. I said, "Boy, I'm gonna laugh if all the power goes out." And sure enough, it did. I'm like, because I know you be like, I could still cook that kind of stuff. We'll just throw it on the grill and cook it. But
well, yeah, or if you've got a butane, like a campfire stove, but
yeah,
some people don't think about this, or they'll buy a bunch of canned food and all
yep.
right, well, sounds like it's devolving into a horde of locusts fighting over the last fish stick.
All right,
'Cause, you know.
I'm gonna. All right. Well, thanks, guys. I have no idea who's
Thanks.
playing, and I
Yeah.
can't redirect, but somebody will be going. I think Clumsy was going to stream, and I don't know. I know Shizzy has his stream tonight, sometime. I can't remember when, but thanks for hanging out with us. I appreciate it.
Bye.
Bye.